Source: The 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You. The show starts with the third-year graduation party on the go. Everyone is enjoying their last moments in middle school. Some are crying and some are running around having fun. One person even gave away all of his buttons apparently. What were those buttons made out of, huh? And why would someone even give away buttons? Anyway, these are the fun times and possibly the last times these people meet each other, and as all of this is happening, there's our MC proposing to a beautiful girl right in the middle of the school. Eijo Rentaro is our MC, and he is kneeling in front of this girl, Asakawa, hoping that she will accept his proposal and go out with him. MC, kneeling down, asks her if she will go out with her. How desperate is this guy though? Asakawa has no words and doesn't know what to say. She starts to utter some words and tells him that she likes him as well and would love to go out with him. MC cannot believe his ears. Is it even possible that Eijo gets a girlfriend? And yes, you were right. His ears were deceiving him. Asakawa instead is insulting and says she wants to puke after thinking about going out with him. That was rough. Heartbroken, MC is going home after the party. He starts to cry against a wall when his friend A comes up to him asking about what happened. He, by the way, knows it's again him getting rejected. How many times has this guy been rejected? He is not feeling so proud calling him his friend. He wants him to be a man, take it like a champ, and move on to the next girl. Asking about the number of rejections, we got to know that this was MC's 100th rejection. Wow, this guy is surely determined. MC just wants to feel loved and feel like he has a girlfriend who would throw love bombs at him instead of snowballs. He wants to hold hands and do everything a couple does for fun. Friend A knows this happens every time and there is nothing he can do, but it makes him wonder why MC gets rejected. He has looks and is very friendly. He is also very famous among boys and girls and is also very athletic, yet still he cannot seem to get any closer to getting a girlfriend. MC wonders the same and has no idea why this keeps happening to him. Friend A takes off saying he wants him to keep this streak continuing in high school as well. What kind of a friend this guy is? After having a cheerful talk with his friend, MC heads over to the shrine and asks for the signs. He wants to know if there is a love life written in his lifetime. He wants to know if there is a girl waiting for him and if he is ever going to be a couple. Suddenly, he hears a voice coming from the shrine. A head appears out of the donation box and it blows his socks off. MC thinks it's a thief coming to steal the donations, but it is an angel of love, that's all. Ha, so nonchalant. Just an angel coming out of a box to answer your very question. Convenient. He wants to tell MC about his future. He wants MC to know that his pick of chick is waiting for him in high school. At first, MC doesn't realize he is talking about a girl, but the angel explains it to him. His soulmate is waiting for him, and he will know who it is surely when the time comes. The angel is explaining everything and MC is repeating everything in a dramatic feel which pisses off the angel. He wants to say everything in time because some of his lines were cut from the manga apparently. Anyways, the angel continues to explain that women always know they have a soulmate, whereas men get to realize it gradually. And not all people get to have soulmates, which is why some people die single. MC is not going to one of them, he is going to make sure of that. Angel blows his head telling him that he is going to get 100 soulmates in total in high school, and he can choose the one he wants the most. Turn of events apparently. It's time for his next chapter and the high school is on. MC has enrolled in a popular high school and is heading toward it. The entrance ceremony is about to commence, so he runs to the ceremony. After attending the ceremony, it's time for him to find his classes. With a paper with class numbers written on it, MC is trying to find his class when he comes to an intersection in the main corridor. He is walking and two other girls are also coming from different directions focused in their own worlds. As they all come to the intersection, everyone slams into one another. Upon falling down, MC opens his eyes to see two beautiful girls he had collided with. Those two also look to see who it was, and suddenly, all three of them feel a shock run through their bodies like this was a thing meant to happen. MC quickly realizes that these two are one of those 100 soulmates, and he just knows it. All of them are just staring at each other and not saying a single word. MC gets up and asks if they are okay, and one of the girls starts behaving weirdly. She starts to behave like her ankle is hurt a lot and she cannot walk. She wants MC to take her to the nurse's office. The other realizes that she is just playing to go with him alone, so she starts to act as well. She also chooses the ankle thing, and MC is devastated knowing he just injured two of his soulmates. He starts to go haywire and starts punching himself, telling how bad a person has to walk to injure two beautiful girls like these. Both of the girls see him and ask if he is okay. They are standing up and MC sees that their ankles are just fine. But they again start acting like they are injured and want him to take them to the nurse's office. They are heading toward the nurse's office, clinging on to MC like butterflies to a flower. MC cannot believe all of this is happening. This is all like a dream to him. Anyways, one of the girls' names is Inda and the other one is Hanazono. Hanazono starts to cling on to MC much more and Inda sees her. It pisses her off, so she starts to do it too. Both of them are in competition with each other, and all of this feels like a divine blessing for NC. They are just at the nurse's office when two girls walk by them talking about the outer lawn of the school. One of the girls is explaining how it is a clover garden, and it is said that if someone finds a 4-leaf clover and proposes to someone with it, there is a 100% chance of them accepting your proposal. They see this as an opportunity and run off to find that 4-leaf clover. MC is left wondering where they disappeared. Anyways, he spends his day at school and the day ends. It's now 4 hours after the finish time of the school and MC is just about to leave. He was helping a teacher find his spectacles that he had lost, so that is what caused him to stay this long. He is leaving the school wondering where those girls ran off to when he sees both of them still at the garden ground finding the 4-leaf clover. He notices how hard both of them are working to just find a clover. He is touched and decides to go to them. He gets down to the lawn and sees Inda there while Hanazono is somewhere else. She is sweating finding the clover and MC offers her a drink. Inda feels very shy accepting the drink. He asks about Hanazono, but Inda doesn't know where she is. Accepting the drink, Inda is still trying to maintain her tough character, but MC can see through her obviously. She is not good at hiding her feelings. MC wants her to go home as it is getting late, but Inda again mocks him saying she knows what to do, but thanks her as she is leaving. After Inda leaves, Hanazono comes back. MC offers her a can of drink as well. She is also feeling shy about accepting the drink, but suddenly gets a scheme to her mind. She wants MC to drink first so she can have an indirect kiss with him. Inda is losing behind Hanazono. She says that she cannot finish a can, so he has to drink half of it, but MC brought a small can as well. But somehow she manages to convince him to drink some of it. Taking the half-drunk can, Hanazono is about to have a sip of it for her indirect kiss when MC realizes what she just did. Hanazono is so ready for it but cannot stop shaking. She spills all of the drink on the floor and drops the can as well. She gets down to pick up the can, but it is too late. The drink is empty and there is nothing she can do now. MC offers her a napkin to clean herself when Hanazono grabs and holds his hand. The moment is very surreal for MC, and he has never felt this feeling before. Hanazono starts to confess her feelings and tell him how much she loves him. She knows it is too sudden, and it is only a day since they'd met, but she knows if she doesn't tell him now, she will regret it all of her life. She is head over heels for him and wants him to go out with her. MC has never had a girl ask him out, and all of this is a dream for him. He starts crying and doesn't know what to say. He is about to accept her proposal when Inda comes back. She has a lot of cans with her and freaks out seeing these have this romantic moment. She is furious seeing Hanazono making her move, and also behind her back. She starts to scold Hanazono while she behaves like she didn't know Inda also loved MC. But Inda heard her saying that she knew she was not the only one in love with him. MC starts to get really confused. He cannot believe Inda also loves him. Inda tries to cover her feelings and act like she doesn't like him a bit. "Why are you acting like you are really tough, my girl? Just go for it." MC is getting a lot of mixed signals when Inda also confesses her feelings for him. She tells how much she loves him as well and wants him to be her boyfriend. It is safe to say that this has never happened to MC, and he cannot believe a second of all of this. Hanazono and Inda come up to him and want him to tell them which one of them he is going to choose. He has to pick one of them, but MC knows there are a lot more soulmates to come, and he cannot just pick one of these two right now. He tells them that he will tell them tomorrow about his pick, and they have to wait till then. Back home, he is getting really crazy over this decision. How can he pick one of those beautiful girls? He still won't believe what just happened to him today and how two pretty girls confess their feelings to him. The god of love appears once again in this agonizing time for MC. He knows how hard it is for him to choose one of them, but he has to do it. MC asks about other people and how they choose when two of the soulmates happen to confess feelings together. God explains that everyone gets only one soulmate, but something tragic happened while writing MC's fate. After a bit of dramatic silence, he tells how he was watching his favorite program on the TV while writing his fate, and instead of writing one in the soulmate section, he wrote 100. 100 as in the score of the program he was watching. That has got to be one of the most hilarious reasonings ever to exist. MC starts freaking out more after getting to know what happened to his fate. The god also adds one more thing to his painting decision. He explains that if he chooses one of them, the other soulmates die automatically, and he doesn't have a say in this. This makes the decision even more difficult. How can he decide now that if he chose one the other will die? He is walking outside his house thinking a way to solve this huge problem when he gets an idea. He thinks that if he rejects both of them together and tells them around the corner, one by one, to go out with him without telling the other, it can work. He can do it 2 times without both of them even knowing the other exists as his girlfriend. This decision sounds more promising than letting one of them die. The next day, Hanazono and Inde are waiting in front of the school. They are waiting for the decision MC would have made by now. MC arrives and he is in hell of a bad shape, but he has an answer for both of them. Both of them are anxious about it and MC starts to speak. He kneels down and asks both of them to be his girlfriends, but this is not what he had thought the day before, right? Inde and Hanazono are freaking out hearing this. We get to see what happened after he thought of that strategy. He punched himself right in the face after thinking of that 2 timing behind back strategy. He would never disappoint himself with this because he knows how much effort goes into confessing your feelings to your love. He would never insult those feelings and lie to both of them, and that is how he decided that he would ask both of them to go out together. He wants both of them to be his 2 timing because he can't just let one be after rejecting them. Inde is absolutely mad after hearing this 2 timing thing. Inde starts to insult and call him crazy when MC pulls out 2 4-leaf clovers and offers them. They both cannot believe he would do that for them. Apparently, MC has been finding these all night. He asked the teacher he helped to let him into the school, and he managed to find not 1 but 2 of them to offer both of them. Inde again insults, saying he is acting like a child that believes in that superstition's beliefs. But MC was just trying to make them feel happy because both of them were trying to find one yesterday after school. He thought this was what they liked. This touches both of them, and they do not know what to do now. Hanazono gets up and accepts his 2 timing offer. She cannot love any other person after meeting MC, so she would rather be his 2 times than getting rejected. Saying this, she clings on to him, telling him that she expects him to treat her perfectly. Inde sees Hanazono again being the first and also goes on to cling to MC, accepting his terms. MC feels like crying having 2 girlfriends at once. Inde warns him that he has to treat her right, otherwise he will pay. He couldn't ask for more at this time, but there are 98 more soulmates to come now. What would MC do then? This is going to be a fun journey. The next day, we see MC talking to someone as he tells him how after a rejection streak that hit 100, he now has not only 1 but 2 girlfriends for the first time in his life. Turns out that our delusional hero was actually talking to a pole this whole time. Aiju then tells the pole that he is about to walk to school with the loves of his life. There, both of his girlfriends arrive, though it creeps Inde out to see how lonely Aiju is that he is talking to a mere pole right now. So Aiju tells her that basically he is going insane after finally getting his first girlfriend. Inde then offers Aiju that she can be his chatting buddy if the boy is that lonely. Well, since Hikari is here to compete, the girl immediately gets closer to her guy and holds his hand while talking about the weather. At this point, Aiju can't believe he is holding a girl's warm and soft hand, whereas Hikari reveals that she once read in a book that 90% of men enjoy locking hands with their partner. And deep inside, Hikari also starts to drive crazy as she feels the touch of a man. Since Aiju is all about equality, he makes the move and holds Inde's hand, and so they start walking. Hence, the 3 of them start to feel the joy of touch as they are walking. Furthermore, Hikari then tells Aiju that she would appreciate the fact if he calls her by her first name, and after stuttering, they both call each other by their first name and start to blush. So to join the chat, Inde aggressively calls Aiju and orders him to call her by her first name, which is Karain. Later, as they enter the school, they see a guy running for his life while the vice principal chases him. There, the girlfriend explains that the vice principal is infamously strict about school rules. Even if she catches someone running in the halls, that lady will chase that person to death. She low-key looks like that vampire woman from Resident Evil. Well, no shit, because she literally jumps onto that poor guy and French kisses the hell out of him. Apparently, that is how she punishes the students. She is a former sprinter, and therefore no one has ever escaped her kiss attack. She is also known as Sonic the Sketch Hag, as they are talking about kisses, so Akari asks Aiju if he ever had any experience with kissing. So Aiju tells him that his mouth is still as virgin as his body, and with that statement, both Hikari and Karain get prepared to be the early bird and get the first kiss. At this point, we can literally see the rivalry aura revolving around them. During the lunch break, the trio goes to the rooftop, which seems empty. While Karain gets distracted by the cat, Hikari takes out lunch and starts to feed Aiju the lunch she prepared for him. The boy starts to drop tears after he tastes Hikari's lunch. Karain then snaps back and gives Aiju cookies that she baked specially for him. However, she starts to panic and pinches that cookie into Aiju's eyes. Hence, after tasting it, the boy starts to cry with one eye and tells her that he feels blessed. But the competition doesn't end there because Hikari brought some baki for him. Though, unfortunately, the ends are all snapped off, therefore they can't hold it in their hands. Basically, Hikari planned this because right now the girl is sharing the baki with Aiju mouth to mouth so her hands wouldn't get dirty. As Hikari starts to get closer to Aiju, Karain once again panics and ends up destroying Aiju's other eye as she blindly moves forward with baki in her mouth. Due to hair being crossed through Aiju's nose, the guy sneezes so hard that Hikari's baki breaks, and so does her plan. Karain then makes her move and tells Aiju that his eyes have turned red due to the cold, therefore she wants to suck the cold mouth to mouth. But Hikari pushes her away, and the girls get so lost in the conflict that Karain actually starts to choke Aiju so he would pass out and she would do CPR on him. However, that turns Aiju on to see how the girls are fighting to kiss him. So Aiju tells them that they could have asked him directly. Besides, the boy himself wishes to taste a woman. Since this fight is over who is going to kiss Aiju first, the guy tells him to calm down because he has a solution for that. Moreover, he reveals that he spent the whole night thinking about this and went through every possible scenario. Apparently, Aiju plans to blindfold the girls and kiss them one by one. This way, they both wouldn't know who was the first kiss, and so their conflict will be resolved. But that's not it. He even gives them a dice and explains to them the most useless game ever. Basically, both Hikari and Karain Ayane will have one spot each. However, the girls can switch places as they please, or they can roll the dice, and the one with the highest number will decide where she wishes to stand. And to avoid noticing their movements, Aiju will listen to music while facing the opposite direction. Next, after deciding their position, they will send a text message to Aiju and will tell him that they are ready. From there, the boy will roll the dice, and if he gets an odd number, then he will kiss the girl on the right, or else the girl on the left will be kissed. Though even Aiju will blindfold himself so even he wouldn't know who got the first kiss. Each round, Aiju will kiss both the girls. It's just a matter of sequence. Well, Hikari loves that idea, but Karain feels like this game has a lot of options for cheating. So Aiju then tells everyone to make a pinky promise to play it fair and square, whereas the punishment for cheating would be pinching a needle to the eye. And so it's time for the game. Aiju gets an even number, therefore he starts to walk towards the girl on the left. But due to being blindfolded, Aiju loses the direction and when to stop, so the boy uses his hand to avoid any bumping. Though somehow that hand ends up grabbing Hikari's big melon, and judging by the size, Aiju realizes that those puffs belong to Hikari. Since the rhythm of the game has been disturbed, Aiju takes off the blindfold of both girls and tells them that they have to start over. So on to the second round, as Aiju is approaching towards the girls. The cat starts to glare at Karain's panties and gets attracted by the two rope-tight thingy hanging from it. Therefore, the cat immediately rushes to her and starts to play with Karain's cat. It then starts to turn her on, and the tsundere lady literally kicks Aiju as he gets closer and calls him a pervert. Well, the kick wasn't enough for her, so she then starts to punch Aiju continuously in the face. And after beating the crap out of him, Karain realizes that it was actually the cat's doing. Hence, Aiju removes Hikari's blindfold and tells her that they have to go again. It freaks her out as she looks at Aiju's swollen face, and after trying countless times, they always somehow end up messing it up. And so, due to exhaustion, we see the trio lying dead and revealing that this was never as easy as they show in movies and TV. It pisses Karain off because she was telling them from the start that this stupid plan will never work out. However, no one listened to her at that time. So Hikari instantly taunts Karain that Aiju's plan was way too perfect, but the problem is with the people who were involved in the game. Another conflict then begins between these two as they start blaming each other for messing the game up. There, Karain mocks Hikari for always turning red whenever the game used to get interrupted. It makes her suspicious of what they both were doing. Whereas Hikari points out the fact that Aiju keeps getting more and more injured when he ends up with her, so she tells her to stop hurting her guy. Aiju then stops the girls before they would end up killing each other and tells them that he is the one to be blamed. Furthermore, Aiju runs away while calling himself a useless and inexperienced boyfriend, though both Hikari and Karain run behind him to find where he is going. And the moment everyone was scared of actually happens. The boy literally starts running in the hall and summons the vice principal for giving him the experience. And out of nowhere, the vice principal crawls her way to Aiju and jumps on the boy as he falls. Although Karain arrives right on time and she starts to actually choke the vice principal while Hikari shouts for help from the police. That unleashes the vice principal's lizard mode as she tells him that she doesn't wish to quit this job. Besides, this place is her source of income that she uses on smooching hot guys at the club. Therefore, she crawls away and leaves Aiju alone. The girls then ask Aiju the reason for this self-harm, so Aiju gets emotional and explains that they both kept fighting for the first kiss. Therefore, he decided to waste his precious first kiss. Well, at this moment, the girls feel so bad that they both point at each other and tell Aiju that he can kiss them first if he wants. They won't mind at all. Looking at the girls finally having unity, Aiju immediately hugs them together out of joy and decides that the trio will kiss each other at the same time. Though Aiju makes it clear that this way, both Karain and Hikari will end up eventually kissing each other too. At first, they both start to hesitate, but Aiju holds their hands and tells them to believe in each other. What's next? The guy will ask them for a threesome. And so, after so many hurdles in their day, the trio finally succeeds in becoming Aiju's first kiss. The next day, the trio goes to the library where both Hikari and Karain reveal that they are here to get cooking books so they can cook for their bae. While the girls are busy fighting over books, Aiju wanders around the library and stops by a book named Love, Heigaki, and Me. There he sees a little kid and weirdly, they both get zinged as they see each other. And just like that, another soulmate enters the chat. We listen to the story of Shizuka, who is a royal princess. She has been living her royal life, but was never satisfied by it. She has been living in solitude for most of her life. The thing is, she hates this kind of living and wants to go out and feel the air. She has never made any friends outside of this castle. This is one way of thinking about your luxurious life. She is explaining her life when we see her in the library of the school. She tries to reach for a book on the shelf, but someone else also wants the same book, so their hands hit together. It is MC, and he was reaching for the same book as well. Looking at Shizuka, the lightning crack happens once more and MC has another one of his soulmates right in front of them. Shizuka is blushing like crazy and starts to look here and there, but she is not saying anything. MC apologizes for hitting her hand like that, but he cannot stop feeling the emotions of a soulmate. He never guessed that he would be meeting another soulmate in the library. Upon asking who she is, Shizuka takes a book out of the shelf and makes words from it to talk to him. She tells him that she is from the royal family, but words make MC believe that she is the librarian. Shizuka is trying hard to make good sentences, but every sentence is not landing correctly. She asks if there is something she can help MC with. MC takes a minute to understand what she is saying, but when he gets it, he tells her that he is looking for a funny novel right now. MC told her by doing the gestures and not speaking, so she asked him through the book why he could not speak. He asks the same to her when she replies that she finds it hard to interact with people. She feels embarrassed as is going to get someone who can talk to him when he stops her. He wants her help with something. He tells her that he is looking for a book. MC likes the genre of romance normally and would love a story where two people fight nature to get together and live happily ever after. Shizuka knows just the books and starts collecting different books for MC to read. She is taking books from here and there. MC looks at her and wonders how this tiny girl is working so hard to help him in this matter. But she has collected a lot of books for him to read. That is too much hard work, by the way. She apologizes for overdoing it and asks him to take whatever he likes. But MC lets her know that he will read all of them as she picks them just for him. He wants to borrow all of them to read. He takes the books to the counter, but his library card is expired and is going to take a week before his new card is issued. Seeing MC in this state, Shizuka decides to give him her book. She loves this book, but seeing MC like this melted her heart. MC cannot believe she is offering him her favorite book. He doesn't know her name, so he asks her about it. Shizuka shows her ID and he gets to know that she is in the same class as him. He apologizes for never noticing her. MC leaves taking the book, and Shizuka is left smiling to meet her soulmate. On the other hand, Hanazono and Inda are currently looking at cookbooks to see if there is something good that will make MC happy. Hanazono found something but wouldn't let Inda see what it was. MC shows up and is surprised to see cookbooks in their hands. Hanazono explains that she is looking at things that she can make for him, but Inda keeps her character saying she is just improving her cooking skills. Even being a girlfriend didn't break her attitude. MC starts crying seeing his girlfriends work so hard to make him happy. At night, MC gets to read the book, and it is a story about a soldier named Kamakuru and a Princess Lo. Princess Lo appoints Kamakuru as her protector and a knight. He promises to protect her at all costs. There was an attack by a dragon and the princess was about to die when Kamakuru came to rescue her. He saves her from the dragon's attack and fights the dragon with all his might. Defeating the dragon, Kamakuru is a little injured and Princess Lo uses her magical powers to heal his wounds. They are alone in the forest and seeing Lo heal his wounds, MC looks at her and they both lock eyes with each other. They start their love journey right from here and give their hearts to each other. But difficult circumstances occur and Princess Lo is forced to marry somewhere else. She is crying on her wedding day when she is brought into the carriage. Kamakuru runs toward her but is stopped on the way. He asks if they can defy these moments to carry on their love, but there is nothing she can do. MC starts crying reading this story and is rooting for Kamakuru when the book ends. The story continues in Volume 2, but he doesn't have that right now. The next day, Shizuka is sitting in the class and opens her bag with Volume 2 inside. MC shows up wanting to thank her for the book when he notices the second volume in her bag. Shizuka, without saying a word, takes the book and gives it to MC. Because he loved the first one, but MC cannot take the second one without paying for the first one, so he asks Shizuka to come with him outside. Meanwhile, Inda and Hanazono are fighting with each other over some nuggets. They want to make something for him that bad. Outside, MC buys soda for Shizuka and thanks her for the book this way. They are on a bench, but Shizuka isn't drinking her soda. He tells her that he reads a lot of romantic novels, but the one she gave him was something else. He was panicking over the part where Kamakuru and Princess Lo had a misunderstanding. Shizuka starts giggling at how excitedly MC is talking about the book. She tells him that she is carrying the book from an early age and has kind of memorized it. He can understand seeing how easily she flips pages to find the perfect sentence for the instance. He praises how much she loves this book. He shares that he never reads a book again and again, but this is something special she has. Shizuka flips the book again and tells him that she doesn't deserve that praise, and it is just something that is natural to her. For some reason, MC asks to take the first book back and tells her that he will return the book after some days. She agrees and gives the book back. She thanks him for not shunning her personality just like that and understanding her. A little later, Shizuka is in the library all happy when the librarian notices her. Upon her asking, Shizuka starts freaking out and denying that she is happy. Every day, Shizuka has been going to school with the second volume thinking MC will ask for it, but it has been 3 days, and MC hasn't come to ask for it. She is very sad now and is just walking outside the school when she sees MC with Hanazono and Inda. MC is pretty sleepy and explains that he has been staying up late for some nights. This gets both of his girlfriends thinking that there is something fishy going on here. But Hanazono takes the chance and kisses him on the cheek, saying that she wanted to transfer some of her energy to him. It makes MC very happy and he hugs her tightly. Seeing this freaks the hell out of Inda, and she also wants to do the same now. She reaches ahead to kiss him too, but hits her head on MC's chin accidentally, who closes eyes without seeing where they are going. Shizuka is seeing them have this moment with MC and is just standing there with Volume 2 in her hands. She gets upset thinking how naive she is. MC already has girlfriends. She starts thinking of the time when her friends and family always hated how she talked to them. They always scolded her for being this kind of freak. She is sure that no one is happy to talk to her and will never be, so there is no point in keeping hope. How hard it must be for her man. I really feel for her. Embarrassed at herself, Shizuka is about to go home when she takes her bag from the class. MC shows up alone and is glad that she hasn't gone home. He asks her to sit with him and take out her smartphone. There is an app he wants her to install. Shizuka does exactly what he says and tells her to open the app. It's an ebook of the same volume one has borrowed from her. He explains that it was very hard for her to communicate with others by carrying the book with her all the time. She can just use this app to communicate now. She can select a text in there, and it will read the text using a synthetic voice. Shizuka cannot believe this and tries something. It works, and it just blew her mind how accurate it is. She could not believe that MC put all the text one by one with her hands to make sure she could talk this way. Well, that happens when you are in love. MC explains that it was pretty hard for her and the other person to communicate using the book. This way, they can look at each other while they talk. Now MC wants her to try communicating with him. Shizuka, feeling extremely sentimental, selects a text and it reads out. It says, "I love you." Suddenly, tears start dripping across the phone screen and MC realizes that this is something completely unique. Shizuka thanks him for not treating her like a freak. MC knows this is not that she is a soulmate and she has to save her. It is just that she is true to her feelings about him. He grabs Shizuka by the shoulders and tells her, "I love you too." That was very sudden. The next day, MC takes Shizuka with him to his other girlfriends and asks for their permission to make Shizuka his third girlfriend. Inda cannot believe he is even asking for it, but on the other hand, Hanazona starts crying seeing how loyal he is. She cannot believe that MC didn't drop them for his new love. This is also a perspective. Inda doesn't agree with all of this and feels like this is absurd. MC promises that he will never let any of them feel less loved. If he does, he will atone by committing seppuku. What are you, a samurai? Inda gets that he is serious about it and allows it. He still has 97 of the soulmates left to come. Introducing his third girlfriend to his previous two girlfriends, Hikari and Karain, they meet Shizuka, Rintaro's new girlfriend. Where you can't even make one girlfriend, some dude just made his third one. Rintaro, turning to Shizuka, says that she might already recognize Hikari and Karain as they are Shizuka's classmates. Adding to the conversation, Rintaro says Shizuka speaks through quotes from her favorite series. As Shizuka is a librarian, she loves to read books. Noticing her small little details, Rintaro tells Hikari and Karain about Shizuka, how Shizuka moves her toes while reading like a puppy's tail, depending upon the scene she is reading. Further adding on about cute gestures, Rintaro turns to Hikari, whom he loves when she puts her finger in her mouth when she's thinking. Could he be imagining something instead of the finger? She bites her finger when thinking intensely, which Rintaro finds hot. Rintaro then tells Karain about her cute gesture, the way Karain twirls her hair as if she is trying to brush off a compliment. Here the girlfriends start blushing like a red tomato, thinking Rintaro cares about them so much. While the girls are blushing, Rintaro adds on how he loves when Hikari pouts when she kisses and Karain gets so into it that she stops breathing while kissing. Coming as a shock to Shizuka, Rintaro has previously locked lips with his other two girlfriends. So shocking, as if she isn't Rintaro's third girlfriend. Seeing that Shizuka has lost her comfort, Hikari and Karain ask Shizuka if she is interested in kissing their boyfriend. Shizuka exclaims that it is her God-ordained destiny to stay chaste until marriage. Damn, God still does make girls like Shizuka. Rintaro, not minding that, says it's alright to take it slow for now, and he doesn't want to kiss until Shizuka is ready to kiss him too. Burning into jealousy, Hikari and Karain chomp down their food. As the three girlfriends sit with Rintaro eating their lunch, Hikari and Karain burst into a fight to feed lunch to Rintaro. While they fill up Rintaro's mouth with food, Shizuka quietly sits and eats her lunch. Later on, Hikari tries to talk to Rintaro and gets cut off by Karain that it's her turn. Karain taunts Hikari that she has been boring Rintaro. Hikari repeats the same words to Karain and they start fighting again like cats and dogs. Seeing them fight, Rintaro tells them to mind their personal space or they will end up kissing each other again. I mean, what boyfriend doesn't want to see that? Hikari and Karain start calling each other all the slang during the fight, while Rintaro notices Shizuka has been weirdly quiet, maybe because she's not comfortable yet. Of course, it's an uncomfortable position to be the third girlfriend. For that situation, Rintaro came prepared, or as he thought he was. To make someone open up to you, you must first open up yourself so they feel comfortable talking to you. Kind of smart coming from a man. Putting his plan into action, Rintaro takes out a deck of cards from his pocket and asks to play Old Maid with his girlfriends, and they agree with him. But to spice things up, the penalty for losing the game would be that the winner tickles the loser. Rintaro believes that laughter would make anyone open up about their emotions, at least it does to him. While the girlfriends begin thinking of something else though, they want to be tickled by Rentaro for him to touch them. So now, the girlfriends want to purposely lose the game to Rentaro to feel his big bony hands on their bodies. In the first round, Karain loses to Rentaro as she wanted to. As Rentaro begins to tickle her, Karain falls into such an awkward position, making it look like something fishy, that even Rentaro blushes. The second round begins and Hikari loses to Rentaro. Happily, she almost flashes her melons to Rentaro for him to tickle it, making him embarrassed. But as Rentaro begins tickling, she starts feeling hot and runs off. I'm not sure if they are even allowed to air this. Hikari starts feeling like she needs to pee and excuses herself in the corner. The winner of the third round, as expected, is also Rentaro. Now he has to tickle Shizuka, and she lets out a hearty laugh, making Hikari and Karain burn out of jealousy, wondering what attracts Rentaro to Shizuka. In the fourth round, they lost by Rentaro against Shizuka, even though Hikari and Karain tried so hard to win. Well, now they don't get to touch him, but a newcomer does. As Shizuka approaches to tickle Rentaro, instead of actually tickling him, she begins poking him and Rentaro begins laughing. Looking at this, Hikari begins thinking that the shy personality of Shizuka attracts Rentaro. Hikari thinks puppy dog eyes, cute gestures, and a highly pitched voice would attract Rentaro to herself. But it would make Hikari a poser, things that come naturally to Shizuka. Just by looking at her, one can feel the need to protect this fluff ball at all costs. In other words, Shizuka could make anyone feel like a father figure. On the other hand, it's visible that Karain is super angry at Shizuka as she got the chance to touch him, but is letting it go by just poking Rentaro. Both of them think that if they had that chance, they wouldn't be foolish enough to let it slide just like this. After being tickled by Shizuka, Rentaro excuses himself to the restroom to take a piss after laughing so hard. As Rentaro excuses himself, Karain turns to Shizuka in anger. Karain asks Shizuka why she is playing so dumb and would let slide at perfect chance to touch her boyfriend. To which Hikari's girl power comes into action and she takes a stand for Shizuka. Hikari tells Karain that she yells at everything, even if a hat falls, Karain yells at it. Then Shizuka, trying to explain herself, says that they both used to be Rentaro's first lovers, so Shizuka doesn't want to be on their way to Rentaro since she's a newcomer. Yelling at Shizuka, Karain adds that Shizuka is now a girlfriend of Rentaro and she doesn't need to hide her desires for Rentaro. To which Hiraki taunts Karain that this statement feels off to come from a person who would rather pick a fight than talk about her feelings. Those are some burns from Hiraki to Karain. To calm down Karain, Shizuka apologizes. However, it looks like Karain just wants to pick a fight with Shizuka. Seeing no way out, Shizuka finally says that she will now speak what her heart wants. Shizuka begins by telling Hiraki is feminine and knows how to carry herself with grace, and Karain is beautiful with eccentric features, bold and confident with her attitude. In comparison to both of them, Shizuka cannot even stand beside them. Her appearance is childlike, concerned about Rentaro's choice, and her personality is gloomy and reserved. Being moved by Shizuka, Karain apologized for her behavior and she just wants Shizuka to speak her heart out to Rentaro and not hold back because of them. On the other hand, Rentaro sees the scene from the window, inside the rooftop. When Shizuka was tickling Rentaro, he noticed that Karain was burning with anger and Hikari felt insecure. It turns out that the game Rentaro started with Old Maid didn't help him get his 3 girlfriends to become friends and talk about their emotions. So, Rentaro excuses himself to go to the restroom so the girlfriends can bond with him. As he steps out, Rentaro sees that even though Karain wanted to be angry at Shizuka, her message to her was helpful in opening up about her feelings. To ease up the fear Shizuka feels for Karain, Hiraki was there for her to take the bullet. Rentaro starts feeling emotional and happy about how the girlfriends have bonded together. Aw, something any man would want to see. Entering the rooftop again, Karain approaches Rentaro that they are doing the penalty round again, and this time Shizuka will properly tickle him. Hearing it, Shizuka finally decides to speak her mind, after being understood by the other girlfriends. Nervously, Shizuka approaches Rentaro and says that she wants to be kissed, and that she lied about the God-ordained chastity to him. Rentaro already had it figured in his mind. As she lifts her face to him, Rentaro finds Shizuka so cute that he begins patting her head. She pulls Rentaro near her and he kisses her, turning Shizuka red out of shyness. On the other hand, Hikari loves that Karain made Shizuka speak her mind. Now she might as well speak hers too. Karain asks what that means, and Hikari explains it to her. She approaches Rintaro and asks to be kissed. But before that, Hikari asks if she is still good for him, as Hikari felt insecure a few moments ago. Rintaro says that all three of them are beautiful in their own ways and kisses her too. Shizuka and Hikari, being dazzled by Rintaro's love, stand there as Rintaro turns to Karain. Her ego being in the way, Karain says she doesn't want anything, but Rintaro hugs her and tells her she's cute when she's flustered. Karain blushes at it and begins playfully hitting him. As Karain hits her final blow, Rintaro says that he wants to kiss her. Does she want to kiss him too? Karain, being shy, still agrees with him, and Rintaro kisses her too. Standing there, Hiraki, Karain, and Shizuka, still feeling the effect of Rintaro's kiss, they see Rintaro gazing at them. Hiraki asks what's the matter, to which Rintaro says he feels like the luckiest man in the world. Anyone would feel the same if they had 3 girlfriends at the same time. He explains that all 3 of them are the best girlfriends Rintaro could have ever asked for and thanks them for being like that. Hiraki, Shizuka, and Karain say that they feel the luckiest girlfriends too. Well, did not know splitting a man would be a great feeling. Laughing at the tics of speech, they all let out a hearty laugh. Today, the results are posted in the hallway, and there is a huge crowd of students waiting to see their results. Hanazono, Inda, and Shizuka are waiting in line as well, but MC is nowhere to be seen. Inda wonders when he is going to come back, as he has gone to get his mobile he forgot at his desk. Inda wonders what it is with his smartphone that he went to get it right when the results are posted. Hanazono and Shizuka failed to relate to her thoughts, as they both realize the importance of the smartphone. Shizuka adds that MC told them about his mobile phone being the most important thing to him, as it has pictures of him with all 3 of his girlfriends, and he cannot afford to lose them. So basically we are looking at a simp boyfriend. MC reaches the classroom and enters to find his mobile right where he thought he would find it. It is on his desk, but something else takes his attention. He sees some girl on her desk reading a textbook. It is his class fellow called Ai. She looks like a nerd, to be honest. MC asks her if she is coming to see the results. MC is confused when he gets the answer. She tells him that seeing the result is meaningless, as she already knows she is the top scorer. Saying this, she turns around and looks at MC. This is it. She is one of MC's soulmates, as they get the crackling feeling right when they look at each other. This leaves both of them silenced and stuck in their place, but Ai controls herself and gets back to reading. MC wonders how it is possible that he has a nerdy soulmate, but he has to respect nature and go with the flow. As there is something else he can do, he leaves the class and gets back to see the results. After checking the results, we see that Hanazono came 25th out of 240 students. Shizuka got 44th position, while Inda got 87th. Our MC is just 1 below Inda at 88th. He rubs the heads of his girlfriends, telling how proud he is when he suddenly remembers what IA told him. He looks at the results and sees that IA did come first with a perfect score of 700. She got the perfect score on all of her tests. He asks his girlfriends if they have heard about IA. They all know that it is a girl from their class, but hardly anyone knows her. Shizuka says that she is always by the window reading her book, while Inda believes her to be an AI machine who can answer anything thrown her way. In the next class, MC and II got to be partners, and they had to perform the practical. MC went to get the microscope. When he gets back, he finds II copying the exact diagram rather than doing the actual practical. She feels like copying is the best thing, as practicing what scientists have already done for them is useless. The teachers come and they have to do something now. So IA starts looking at her textbook through the microscope instead of the actual subject. MC asks why she is focused more on the book instead of the onion when she tells him that the textbooks are more efficient to read, and she fails to find anything illogical in that. This gets MC thinking and realizing that maybe this kind of behavior has gotten her the reputation of an A machine. After failing to get IA to do the right thing, MC gets back to working on his own. He is drawing something and has to use the blade when he accidentally gets a small wound on his finger. He gets up and goes to the sink right next to IA to clean it up when she grabs his hand and starts sucking on the wound. Now what am I watching again? Is this girl a nerd or something else? She feels like applying saliva to this small wound is much more efficient than getting a bandage. This leaves MC quite freaked out. He cannot think straight and feels like he is having a dream. This beautiful girl sucking on his finger cannot happen as she is too pretty to be doing this. He cannot stop staring at her smooth skin, beautiful lips, and everything else. Well, no one could. Ai is having fun with MC while MC's girlfriends are right behind him doing their practicals, having no idea what is happening to their boyfriend. After the class, Ai is heading outside the school when MC runs to her and says thank you for helping her in the class. MC expresses he wants to repay her in some way and asks if she wants to get a soda or something. Ai strikes back telling him that soda is not the best way to hydrate yourself and definitely not the most efficient way. This girl wants everything to be efficient. MC tells her that he wants to get to know her if she doesn't mind. She doesn't mind, but then again she feels like this is meaningless. MC refuses to take this as an answer and tells her that this is the way life is supposed to be lived. She should have some fun once in a while and should get out of the books for some time. But these things are meaningless to Ai, and she keeps grinding him down saying life is not supposed to be a fun thing. Life is meaningful when you have a prospect for your future, and you cannot do that without being efficient in your academics. This gets to MC, but he again forces the point that fun is the way to live life and not what Ai is telling him. She leaves saying that this whole debate is also meaningless and they should go their way for now. At home, Ai is studying and speedrunning some math when she breaks the pencil nib accidentally. We see that Ai is blushing for the very first time and her focus is not on the thing she is doing right now. She wonders why the hell she sucked on MC's finger. What got to her was that she couldn't help but do that. To get her focus back, Ai starts writing down P and she is happy. But suddenly, she again feels disturbed and starts writing down P again and again, but she cannot get her focus back. This is bad and this has nothing happened to her. The next day, Ai calls MC because she has something to tell him. She and MC are alone in the class when she tells him about her being in love with him. She wants MC to go out with her. MC accepts the proposal and tells her that he loves her as well, but Ai says that she refuses to go out with him. She wanted him to reject her so she could end this love, but he didn't. So she was forced to take action on her own. She tells him that it is the end of their little trip and says goodbye, but MC isn't letting her go. He shares that he has been rejected many times before and she cannot break his heart by rejecting him just like that. And as she cannot break his heart, she cannot end this love. This is a no for Ai as she plans to end this love right here, but little does she know, love doesn't work that way. She explains that relationships between teens are nothing but a waste of time in her opinion. But MC isn't backing down and wants her to go on a date with him. He is planning on winning her over on this date, and if he can't, he will give her up and stop following her around. How can she say no to her soulmate? She agrees and the day of the date is here. MC is waiting for Ai while in the park. Ai shows up in a casual outfit, which is something MC loves about her. She looks very pretty and today, MC is going to show her what having fun with the guy she likes really is. MC takes her to the horse ride and believes that she is going to love it, but Ai starts questioning the reason for this ride's existence. She feels like this ride is useless and should be banned in Japan, but that is just Ai. She notices the instant camera in MC's hands and starts questioning the usefulness of this as well. She hates the concept of this instant camera, but MC ignores what she is saying. He clicks a picture of her and gives it to her, but she finds her picture illogical as well. Throw this girl into a cave. The end. After that, they go to a haunted house, but no ghost is able to scare Ai, while MC is crapping his pants. She knows every ghost is a human and feels like it should be called a human house instead of a haunted house. MC takes her to the teacup party ride, but she finds it creeping her out as this ride makes no sense to her. Taking her to the wheel-around ride, Ai is sitting across MC in the cabin, but she is shaking for some reason. Turns out, Ai is afraid of heights and cannot keep herself to stay still at this height. She wants MC to sit right next to her. MC gets up and sits next to her when Ai grabs his sleeve shakingly. She grabs his hand after a little while and feels at ease after that. The park is about to close in 30 minutes while MC and Ai are sitting by the fountain looking at all the pictures MC took of them today. MC notices that in one picture, Ai seems to be having some fun, which surprises Ai as no one could ever notice her emotions. MC asks if she had fun today, to which she agrees, but this is it. She wants MC to know that this is the end of it and that she is never going to waste a day in her life in this meaningless way. Hearing this, MC is not surprised. so he takes the pictures and decides to burn them as he wants her to never remember this meaningless day of her life. As he is about to burn them, Ia snaps and takes the photos from his hand. She doesn't know why she did that and starts crying. After controlling her emotions, she asks MC to be in a relationship with her as she wants to obtain what she is missing in her romantic life. MC accepts the proposal and extends his hand to shake hands, but Ia grabs him and kisses him on the lips. Wow, she is very efficient. She explains that she wants to fulfill her desires without wasting time if he doesn't mind. Oh yes, he doesn't mind at all. Everyone knows that. They go home holding arms, and the next day, he explains the story to all three of his girlfriends. He wants their permission to make Ia her new girlfriend. They agree, and Ia tells them that going to the park is recommended as it is a lot of fun. They start deciding where to go together when Hanazono suggests going to the pool. She was waiting for this opportunity for a while now, and she got it. Now that Akari has suggested going to the pool for the vacation, Karain has to find some of the best swimwear for Rentaro. MC is surely expecting his 4 girlfriends to look majestic, so Karain wants to look her best. Saying this sentence was way weird. Someone having 4 girlfriends at the same time is often told in a crime story, not in a love anime. Anyways, Karain starts looking for cute and decent swimwear to wear, so MC thinks she is the best of the girlfriends. She goes to a shop, and upon entering, she finds a collection of some of the best swimwear, but everything is not up to her style. She feels like nothing is going to look good on her. She gets closer to the clothes and looks at some of the swimwear. These are too cute for her, and this is not her style for sure. She cannot wear these and look good in them, as cutesy things are not for her. While looking, she gets frustrated and starts yelling that these cute things are not made for her. Hearing her, a worker starts apologizing to her, thinking that she did something wrong. "Don't worry, lady. This is our classic Karain. You did nothing." Karain gets her act together, takes another look, and finds something gorgeous. She is still on the fact that these things are not going to look good on her, but she has another thought right now. She feels like maybe it is she thinking that it is not going to look good. What if MC finds this beautiful on her? Now the day is here and everyone is at the pool. MC enters the place, and it is a beautiful big place full of fun stuff. He is taking a look around and hears his 3 girlfriends from behind. They are in their swimsuits and ready to enjoy some time with their boyfriend. MC turns to look and sees them in their cute and pretty swimsuits. MC is flying high in the sky. A flame blasted in him, and he felt like he could die in peace now. The feeling of pride has surrounded our MC, and nothing can stop him from being happy now. Hikari and Nono look very beautiful in their swimsuits, but Shizuka is wearing school swimwear and feels like she did something wrong. She has a feeling that she has let her boyfriend down, and he is going to think about her badly now, but that is not the case here. MC comes forward and grabs her shoulder, saying that only he had the guts to wear the school uniform in this pool, and that is what is best about her. The way she got the courage to wear this here makes her the national treasure, and he is proud of her. Shizuka notices tears in his eyes as he says this. Seeing 3 of them here and not Karain, he asks about her, but no one knows where she is. He is wondering where she is when Karain comes up from behind. MC turns to take a look and sees Karain completely covered in some kind of button jacket type thing. He feels like she has come out while changing and should go back. He doesn't want anyone to see one of his girlfriends exposed here, so he wants her back in the changing room right now. But this is not what this is. Karain is feeling cold and decides to cover her up. Hearing this worries MC. He asks if she is feeling down or something like that. He doesn't want to do this if one of his girlfriends is not feeling great, so he asks her if she wants him to call it off. Hikari also chimes in saying that they should do this when everyone is up for it. But Karain wants everyone to know that she is alright. They can go in and have fun without her, as she is going to sit outside and watch. Nona looks around and finds a place with the sun, so Karain can rest there and warm herself a little. Karain wants Nona to know that she doesn't have to worry about her, but Nona was not. Karain is just being presumptuous in her opinion. They are arguing when Shizuka comes up and tells Karain that she is willing to sit with her outside so she doesn't feel lonely. Saying this, Karain walks away while everyone is left seeing her go away in sadness. Anyways, the fun begins, and everyone gets in the pool. The whirlpool is huge and the current is very fast in this pool. They are having a look around and see Shizuka spinning around in the pool. MC asks her about it, but Shizuka doesn't know what is happening to her. She knows that she cannot escape this fate for now. Meanwhile, Nona notices the current flow and feels like this is some kind of training for survival in the water. so she decides to swim in the opposite direction of the current to begin her training. MC notices this and knows right away what she is thinking. But Hikari has different thoughts on her mind and slips into the pool to be saved by MC. Seeing this opportunity, Hikari starts acting weirdly and starts making some suggestive faces to knock over MC's bowl. She wants him to hold her in the pool closely. She is acting like she is drowning and gives MC a good look at her big melons. MC takes a look and cannot function properly. He knows that she is doing this on purpose, but he cannot help but feel some type of way. She is making strange faces. Her strange faces are driving Rentaru crazy, and the view Rentaru is getting of her balloons is crazy as well. He doesn't know how to stop her, but seeing Hikari make her move, Nana comes to the battleground and makes a giant move to knock Hikari away. She takes MC's arm and puts his hand on her melon to make him feel it closely. She wants to make him feel the appeal of her feminine appearance. She is making him squish her melons, and this is driving MC insane as her melons are also very big. This guy is the luckiest man alive for sure. Seeing her do this, Hikari takes his other hand and puts it on her melon as well and starts competing with Nana. She wants her to know that her melons are way softer and decent for MC. They are going at it and using his hand to squish their melons to prove who has the best of them. They look to see MC, and he is lying dead in the water. He could not take it any longer and fainted because of all the squishing. He has passed out and they cannot make him get up. He is way out of their bounds now and they have to come up with something to help their boyfriend. Hikari feels like she cannot let her boyfriend die and has to give him mouth to mouth. Saying this, she clings to him with her mouth in his mouth. She is going at it when Nono comes and kicks her away. Now she is the one giving him mouth to mouth. She feels like she still has a lot to learn from him and cannot just let him die here. She is sucking his mouth like crazy to get him up, but Hikari comes back kicking Nono away. She again clings to him with her mouth on MC's. They are trying everything in their might to wake him up, but nothing is working. On the other hand, Shizuka is still spinning around and has gotten away from the gang. She cannot stop herself and is floating far and far away from them. She feels like she is lost in this huge pool and there is no way to get back to her boyfriend and others. At this time, it dawned on her that she was screwed. She uses her mobile to call for help, but no one listens to her and the balloon she is floating on starts leaking. Grabbing the edge, she gets out of the pool on some kind of a small grassy thing in the middle of the pool. Now Shizuka is a castaway in the middle of this huge pool and she has no way of getting back. This little girl is screwed for sure. No one is going to help her by the looks of it. Back in the main scene, NC is still down and the girls have tried everything to wake him up, but nothing works. They feel like they cannot do anything and they have to look for help now. They have to find a male lifeguard. They cannot risk finding a female one as they are already suffering from jealousy a lot. So they run to find a lifeguard and come across a bunch of perverts. They creep out the girls, but one of them is serious about having fun with them. He has a theory that the upper arm of the girl is just as soft as her melon, so you can have a free trial without touching heaven itself. He extends his arm to have a touch of Hikari's upper arm, but Nana saves her. Nono grabs his arm and knocks him away, slamming fingers into his eyes. She feels like this is the best way to get rid of a perv. His friends are very mad now and are not going to take a no for an answer now for sure. The situation is much worse as these two girls are up against some perverts. Shizuka is cast away and has no way of getting out of there while MC is down, almost dead at the edge of the pool alone. What is going to happen in this pool now? The fight is going to begin between Nono, Hikari, and these other dudes. They are furious about Nono blinding their friend and are ready to get what they want the hard way. But Nana has some other thoughts on her mind. She agrees to hang out with these dudes while Hikari goes to get a lifeguard for their boyfriend. Hikari is shocked to hear this and has no idea why she is doing this. Upon asking, Nono explains that she has been with MC before her and he is going to be concerned if anything happens to her. Nono cannot let anything happen to Hikari because it is going to make MC sad. This touches Hikari's heart, but she cannot accept that. The dudes are getting crazy and cannot wait any longer. Nono agrees to their terms, but Hikari comes in front of Nono telling these guys to scram out of here because no one is going to hang out with them. This shocks Nono, and she had no idea Hikari would do this for her. Hearing this, the perverts are mad and one of them goes to grab Hikari when MC comes running and gets in front of her. The guy is holding MC's face now while MC says his lines. This shocks him, seeing this guy say his lines while being in the iron claw of his. MC tells him that he is not going to let anyone do anything to his girlfriend. The guy complains that Nono blinded his Jude, so he cannot let her get away, but MC is open to offering himself in her place. The guy wants MC to take his girlfriend and get lost from here. MC tells him that both of them are his girlfriends and he is going to take them both from there. But the guy doesn't believe him, saying that he is talking a load of crap. Thinking of trapping him, the guy challenges MC to kiss them both if they are his girlfriends. He feels like he has caught MC with his pants on fire, as he is surely not going to kiss the other girl in front of his real girlfriend. But Nono grabs MC and kisses him. Hikari does the same with MC, and this leaves the two dudes speechless. They cannot believe that this happened and feel like the guys nowadays are way freaky. Even if I was in his position, I would be giving the same reaction. Who has 4 girlfriends, let alone 2 in this day and age? The guys get the hell out of there, saying that they do not want anything to do with these girls. They are out of trouble, but Hikari asks about how MC woke up. She is wondering this when she sees Karain walking to them. MC explains what happened. Karain was sitting alone, seeing everyone having fun, when she noticed Nono and Hikari in trouble with these guys. She thought about MC and why he wasn't there to help them when she found him dead at the edge of the pool. She ran toward him and tried to wake him up. She didn't want him to die here because Nono and Hikari needed help. Shaking MC, Karain said that Nono and Hikari need your help. This did the trick, and he woke up, startling Karain. He ran toward Nono and Hikari, hearing that they were in trouble. So this happened. Alright, fair enough. This impresses Nono. MC turns to Nono and holds her hand, thanking her for protecting Hikari from those guys earlier. He feels like hurting the eyes was great, but he wants her to know that she doesn't have to put herself at risk like that. He cannot let anything happen to her. As he says this, MC is shaking, and this surprises Nono. She remembers when Hikari said that she doesn't know MC well enough now. She apologizes for doing what she did, but everything is fine. Suddenly, MC remembers Shizuka and wonders where she is right now. Hikari thinks that she may still be in the pool. This is concerning for MC, that she might still be spinning around in the pool by herself. The thing is, she doesn't know how to swim, and this is freaking MC out. He runs to the pool to find Shizuka. Meanwhile, Shizuka is constantly using her mobile to ask for help, but no one is listening. She is trying her hardest, but nothing is working. She sees that her battery is getting low, and it is dead now. She cannot ask for help anymore, but she sees MC out of nowhere and tries her best to make herself noticed, but the area is too big. MC is yelling at the top of his lungs, calling for Shizuka, but she cannot respond. She hears and sees him, but MC cannot see her. Everyone in the pool is looking at MC yelling like that, but he doesn't care. Shizuka has to find another way to respond, but there is nothing around. Maybe she has to call in her own voice now, but she has a feeling that MC might not pick up her voice. Her voice is very silent and soft, and he cannot pick it up in this noise and rush. But she tries anyway, and from the bottom of her heart, she tries to get her first word out. She did, and her voice was picked up by MC's ears. He sees her and goes to her, asking if she is okay. Holding her in his arms, MC is taking her back when Shizuka cannot help herself and kisses him. Everyone is watching as she kisses him, but MC is blushing hard. He feels like she is very daring to kiss him in public like that. He takes her back, and everyone is concerned about her. Nono feels like MC would be tired of all the running, so maybe he should rest a bit. He agrees and asks Karain to come with him, as she has got a cold as well. She is a little hesitant at first, but agrees and goes with him. They are sitting together having a drink when MC asks Karain about something she was doing earlier. She was looking at Nono and Hikari's chests. That made her feel insecure herself, and she felt that she wasn't enough for him. This freaks her out, as this is exactly why she wasn't coming with them. He feels like Hikari and Nono are decent for their age, but she and Shizuka are absolutely okay for their age. But Karain feels like she isn't cute like Shizuka. She has the opposite personality of being cute, and this is making her feel bad about herself. MC had enough of this and asks her to stand up. She stands up, and MC gets up, puts the drink on the table, and gets close to her. He takes her jacket-tight clothes and takes it off, revealing Karain wearing the swimsuit she saw at the shop. This freaks her out, but MC is left shocked at how beautiful and cute her swimsuit is. Karain cannot believe him, but MC hugs her and wants her to feel his heartbeat. He wants her to know that she is best in her own type and has no flaws whatsoever. This makes her blush and MC kisses him right then and there. Coming back to everyone, MC is excited to finally start the pool date with all of his girlfriends. Grabbing Rentero's hand, his girlfriends are taking him to have the 5 passionate pears pancakes. They are taking him hurriedly, but even in this hurry, Rentero ends up locking eyes with a beautiful redhead in a chemistry lab. Both of them feel that weird electrical surge in them. I mean, not in that way, but anyway, his girlfriends drag him to eat all the pancakes with him. After dealing with his other girlfriends, the next day Rentero goes to the chemistry lab to see her, the beautiful girl he saw yesterday. The zap he felt in him made him sure that she was a soulmate. Rentero enters the chemistry lab and is met with a cute little girl, and she welcomes him into the chemistry lab. The little girl coincidentally has the same hair as the girl Rentero saw and looks adorably cute. But Rentero is sad that the girl he saw yesterday isn't in the lab right now, as he came especially just to see her and ask her out. The little girl introduces himself as Kusuri and asks for his name, which he says is Rentero. Excitedly, she tells him that she is in the Chem Club. Rentero wonders what Chem Club she is talking about since he has never heard anyone talk about it. Then, Kusuri offers him some tea from a beaker. A teaker to be exact. She forcefully hands him the tea and says he is lucky that she just finished making a fantastic drug. Rentero says he is not here to join the Chem Club, but he is here to see someone. But Kusuri is not hearing a word, so it looks like he has to wait. So Rentero sits and waits, while Kusuri brings her newest drug to him. A human magnet is medicine. If a human drinks this, it takes the iron in the blood and turns the body into a magnet. The next thing is that Kusuri is going to make Rentero drink it. I mean, her Lolita voice would literally make anyone drink it. When he opposes drinking it, Kusuri says nobody says no to meth, but when it comes to an innocent experiment, he doesn't agree. Manipulation game at its finest. Anyway, Rentero, being left with no option, has to drink it. That is some cool drug as it actually worked, and Rentero became a human magnet. Rentero is amazed by the drug, as every metal begins sticking to him easily. The only thing that has a side effect is constipation. Rentero yells, "Why did she make him drink it then?" To which she says there are still some more things she wants to try. Then Kusuri shows him another drug, which is an opposite pole. If she drinks it, she will be attracted to him. Oh well, without wasting a second, she drank it and Kusuri got attached to him. Kusuri, being attached, looks at him and giggles. It makes Rentero blush and shy, and he wonders what this adorable little angel is. Well, the adorable little angel said that if they had taken the same drug and tried this thing with one person being upside down, it would have created a different situation. The 12-year-old 69 joke. Now Kusuri tries to take herself off of him, but the magnetism is too strong, and she can't get away from Rentero. But the effect wears off in 10 minutes. Suddenly, Kusuri realizes she was holding her pee in forever. Oops, someone's kink is about to get fulfilled. Rentero exclaims, "Why would she pee being stuck on him?" Kusuri says that she wears diapers so she could pee easily anytime, anywhere. With that, Rentero exclaims that he still feels something on him. But after 10 minutes, the effect wears off, and Rentero finally frees himself. But it is visible, and Kusuri enjoyed every moment of it. She says further that Kusuri loves to make drugs like this, and there's more she wants him to try: night vision medicine and ventriloquism medicine. Telling him all of it, her eyes sparkled with joy. Rentero wants to brush his thoughts off because he was here to find his another soulmate, but he found someone else. He wonders why he is getting so worked up over her. Kusuri asks if he is getting bamboozled by her cuteness, to which Rentero wonders how she knows about it. Well, the drink Kusuri gave him earlier was a love potion. The reason behind that was that Kusuri fell for Rentero at first sight, and she loves him. With so much enthusiasm, Kusuri asks him to go out with him now. She thought her plan was pitch perfect, and Rentero can't refuse Kusuri now. But Rentero begins to throw up. Kusuri gets furious as to why he would start throwing up when a girl asks him out. That is so rude. Rinatro replies that it is weird coming from the girl who just took a leak while she was hugging Rentero. Well, that's not it. He is trying to throw up because he does not want to confess love when he is under the effects of a love potion. Kusuri wonders if she got the mix wrong, or even worse, if he hates the idea of going out with her so much. Her eyes tear up, and then she starts crying like a baby. Kusuri begins babbling, saying that she loves him a lot, and that she is not his type or what. Suddenly, Rentaro begins having a seizure because of the side effects of the drug he took. Kusuri realizes that his body rejects the drug and wonders if she caused an overdose with the intensity of the feelings, or if the drug was made wrong. She is totally confused as to what happened. In an instant, Kusuri grabs a neutralizer and tells MC to drink it, which is drug-reversing medicine. But the convulsion is so strong that he can take it on his own. Being left with no choice, Kusuri has to force the drug into MC. So she takes the drug, puts it in her mouth, and makes Rentaro drink it through her mouth. The kiss of life, or maybe something like that. As Rentaro drinks it, the convulsion finally stops. Along with that, the love potion effect is also gone. But Rentaro wonders, if the effect is gone, then why is Kusuri still so mind-bogglingly cute? Both of them get red-faced out of shyness. Kusuri realizes he already loves her, so she begins begging him to go out with her. A girl on her knees begging is a dream come true. Kusuri says she loves Rentaro too much. Super duper love, so she will do whatever he says. Rentaro says that at least she needs to raise her head first, but what he sees astonishes him. She begins growing up all of a sudden with luscious long hair and a beautiful hourglass-shaped body. It turns out it was the girl from yesterday. Kusuri, after her transformation, says that she must have drunk the neutralizer while giving it to him. Rentaro is confused as to what got neutralized. She explains to him that she actually looks like this and a failed immortality drug made her look small. Fixing her hair, Kusuri says she is actually a third-year student and a captain of the Chem Club. Rentaro exclaims that she is a senior, coming to him as a shock. Playing the Ona reverse, Rentaro gets on his knees and asks her to go out with him instead. Kusuri says she would be deeply honored to go with him, while she hugs him and squeezes his arm in her honkers. On God, the luck Rentaro has makes me so jealous of him. Making Rentaro blush, she says she has to change her diaper now, to which he shyly says that she doesn't have to mention it like that to him. Later on, Rentaro, on the rooftop, tells his other previous girlfriends the entire story. Shakily, he asks for their permission to make Kusuri his girlfriend. Returning to her small form, Kusuri had already introduced herself to the other girlfriends. Nano says to achieve multiple partners at once to achieve optimal efficiency, but Rentaro says that it is not for that. Karain steps forward and asks Kusuri to tell her more about herself. Kusuri says that she really loves drugs. A weird way to give an introduction. Shocked at that, Karain looks at Rentaro, asking if Kusuri is even okay. Rentaro says it is fine as Kusuri hasn't tried them, which is the least convincing statement he has made. But he explains that she looks small because of the drug she took, but Kusuri is actually a third-year student. Karain screams that she needs rehab. Then, Kusuri pulls out the drug she got for everyone. Well, for starters, Kusuri got Karain a bust-bigoting medicine. Karain yells what that is supposed to mean, to which Kusuri shows another medicine, which is a twistifying medicine. Then another medicine, which is to make her more feminine. Karain gets angry that Kusuri is making Karain her research rat, which Kusuri says is what Rentaro told her. Hearing that, Karain attacks Rentaro, asking why he would say that, which Kusuri covers up by saying he called her slender and beautiful. Then Karain says sorry for attacking Rentaro, but he says it felt good to get a Boston Karain. Now for Hikari, Kusuri gives her a hot stuff medicine, and as she drinks it, thinking it would make her seduce Rentaro, her clothes literally melt off her body. An eye-candy sight to see. She screams as her clothes melt off, saying that this is far too indecent. Rentaro, covering his eyes, hands over Hikari, whose sweats he wore for PE today. But as Hikari wears it, she smells Rentaro's scent in it, and begins sniffing it. Now for the storybook lover, Shizuka, the bun fantasy medicine. As Shizuka drinks it, she grows a pair of bunny ears, and Rentaro finds it adorably cute. He says it is like a movie costume and touches her new ears. But as Rentaro touches them, Shizuka finds pleasure in it and says she feels a novel sensation. Rentaro is surprised that she likes it, so he puts Shizuka in his lap and begins rubbing her ears, and she loves it so much. For Nano, Kusuri got a hair control medicine. Not taking a second, Nano gulped it down, and she became Yami. From To Love Ru. I'm suddenly getting kinks on getting a Medusa girlfriend. Nano takes her hair and wipes the dirt off Rentaro's face. Her hair smelled nice to Rentaro, and Nano grabbed Rentaro near her with her hair and gave him a smooch. Kusuri gives Nano more vials, which last for 10 minutes. but taking the second vial increases the risk of baldness. Rentaro yells that it is a heavy risk to take, and Nano says he would not love her if she were bald. Take notes, ladies, they won't love you if you go bald. Rentaro screams that he would still love Nano, even if she was bald, fat, alien, etc. But he loves Nano's hair so much, so he tells her that her hair feels so smooth and soft on his skin. A while later, they all sit down to have lunch on a sheet, putting down the edibles Kusuri brought. Karain says she couldn't care less for it, but still, she wonders how she would look with a big bust if she took the drug Kusuri got for her. Kusuri takes an illustration out of her pocket and shows Karain that this is how she would look. The illustration has Karain on it with bigger honkers, but maximum effort goes to the one applying for the Dream Research Team, Kusuri says. Nano expresses her confusion over that, to which Kusuri explains that it is her dream to join a big research team that makes all sorts of amazing drugs and wants to experiment with them. After all, Kusuri does think chemistry and drugs are the best. Shizuka says that it is a great dream of Kusuri. Suddenly, Kusuri feels the urge to take a piss, but remembers she has a diaper on. But Rentaro asks her to please use the restroom instead of peeing in the diaper. So she runs to the bathroom, and behind her, the girls say that they'll pour the tea until then. But Kusuri stops them from waiting until she is back since she has a different tea for Rentaro. Amazed at it, Rentaro asks why it is different for him, to which Kusuri says that it is a different blend for boys and girls. Well, not being able to hold the pee, Kusuri rushes to the bathroom. Well, Hikari looks at the two thermoses, and one of them is big and the other is small, so it is obvious that the bigger bottle is for the 5 girls and the smaller bottle is for Rentaro. So she pours in the tea for everyone so everyone could have their tea with the cookies. Later, Kusuri gets back, and they all start eating the cookies and drinking the tea. Everyone loves the cookies, and the girlfriends appreciate how good the cookies are. But suddenly, Kusuri looks at the tea and sees that the tea the girls are drinking is for Rentaro, and she begins to tremble literally. She wonders, obviously, that she made sure to split it for boys and girls, but still the girls got confused. The difference was that the bigger bottle was blue for the boy and the red bottle was red for the girls, but she messed it up by the sizes. Kusuri stops everyone in a hurry to stop drinking the tea as the Rentaro tea has a drug to give an uncontrollable amount of smoochies to Kusuri. Kusuri wanted to kiss Rentaro again like she did before, but not under any effect of drugs. Even Rentaro yells that he wants to kiss her without the influence of any drug. Kusuri gets happy and jumps on his lap to kiss him, but Karain gets her off and throws her away. The girls have somewhat turned into zombies. He wonders what has gotten into them. Kusuri feels regret that she has messed up everything again. Telling him to run, Kusuri says the drug is not safe for girls. Further, she explains that male libidos make boys want to get physical and bump uglies, while female libidos crave emotional intimacy and pleasure, and that's kisses. Rentaro asks if that is actually true, and Kusuri says yes, it is. It was not meant to increase the urge to kiss even more, so the urge remains forever in the 4 of them. Their brains don't limit them, giving them superhuman strength, as explained by Kusuri. Maybe this drug will make the girls kiss me, and I could have my first kiss too. They are unable to think about anything else other than to kiss someone they love the most with all their hearts. So explained in other words, they are kissing zombies and want to kiss Rentaro. Since MC is also a man, he wonders, wouldn't that be a heavenly experience? Obviously, it sounds like paradise to Rentaro, getting kissed by the girls he loves a lot. He could spend all his life like that. But Kusuri explains that once they catch him, Rentaro can't escape their superhuman strength, and he will be stuck with them kissing him forever. I mean, Rentaro's not wrong. If not given the drug-reversing medicine before the drug circulates, they will become like this for the rest of their ongoing lives, says Kusuri. Rentaro exclaims that they will lose their personality if that is the case with them. He asks how long the girlfriends have before the drug circulates through their bodies, to which Kusuri replies that it depends on the bodies, but somewhat an hour. Now, the plan is to save the girls in an hour before he completely loses them, under the side effects of the drug they took with the tea. With that, the 4 of them jump on Rentaro to attack and kiss him. So began Rentaro and the girls' game of residence, Kissage. The sweet girls' Kusuri games of drugs are pretty intense, in my opinion, making the situation hard to handle. But it also shows how much she wants Rentaro too. We see a small flashback about what happened here. MC met his 5th soulmate, and it was not some random student girl from the school. It is a girl from the chemistry lab. She is a drug maker who makes different kinds of serums to practice her chemistry. She is famous for doing some wacky stuff in the lab by herself, but the thing that makes her most famous is her knowledge about the subject. She knows what she is doing right or wrong and has done a lot of weird stuff. That is what made her the president of the chemistry club as well. She became MC's fifth soulmate when MC met her in the lab, and they both got the sparks right away. She fell in love with MC right away and had to prove her love to him. So she got to work. She started making something that was going to do something magical for her, and we got to know it during the last minute of the last episode. She spent her time in the lab making some drug that was going to make MC crazy about her and kiss her all the time. I always heard these things in kids' storybooks, but they made it somehow appear in this show. Didn't expect anything else though. Anyway, she was able to make the kissing drug, and she mixed the drug in the tea so MC could have it and the magic worked on him. But the worst thing that could have happened did happen, and 4 of MC's soulmates drank the tea with the kissing drug mixed into it. So what now? They are going to kiss MC or Kusuri. We see the girls losing their control and their bodies start deforming in some weird way. They are still in their human bodies, but they have completely lost their control over their minds. They have only one thing to achieve, and that is to kiss MC. Right as they drank it, Kusuri explained everything to MC. The look on MC's face tells us that he doesn't want them to kiss him. And so begins the chapter in MC's life where he has to fight for his life against the zombie kissing girls. We call this chapter the Kissed by Hazard. It feels like we are about to play a zombie game of some sort. The game of running from the zombie girls begins. Our MC was about to get groped by one of the zombie girls, but Kusuri saved him. The thing that is most concerning is that the girls have gotten strong and very fast. They are sprinting from one place to another like Flash, and we can't even see them. This thing concerns our MC, and he is kind of scared for his life. The girls are just looking for an opportunity to get a hold of MC so they can kiss the life out of him. But Kusuri promises that she will make something that is going to reverse the drug and make them normal once again. But she cannot make it right here, for that they have to go to the chemistry lab. So they run toward the door, and right as they get through, they close the door with the girls still on the roof. The view of these girls kissing the door glass sends shivers down MC's spine. What would happen if they somehow got a hold of our MC? He is gone for sure. They would suck everything out of him and leave him lifeless. Anyways, Kusuri explains that they have to hurry and find the chemistry lab. So they go downstairs and are running in the corridor toward the lab when the girls appear in front of them from another side down the roof. They have reached the place before them. Seeing how fast they came down shocks MC and Kusuri. Kusuri has to defend MC somehow and starts looking for something that could slow these zombie girls a little. She finally finds something in her lab coat, and it is a serum that is going to melt the face off of someone it gets splattered on. MC knows she is not going to use that stuff. The thing that is very cute is that Shizuka is a zombie, but she is still very slow. She is not very, and that makes her a cute little love zombie. MC grabs Kusuri and goes backward. They are now taking another route to the lab, but something else comes their way. The vice principal sees them running in the corridor, and he comes running in front of them. He is wearing some makeup, and that scares Kusuri really badly so that she throws the melting serum on his face. It starts melting the makeup off his face, and turns out that all it needs is some makeup to defend yourself from the serum. The vice principal gets very pissed off that the makeup he applied spending the last 3 hours just got erased like that. Now he is going to show his real self to the school, and that is not something MC and Kusuri want to witness. The vice principal starts going haywire, and he cannot stop saying that he has to redo his makeup now. We see the girls approaching them slowly while they are stuck with the vice principal. They have to leave, and they run away from there. We see the vice principal go away, and a student comes up but gets scared seeing the vice principal in his real self picture. MC and Kusuri are running toward the chemistry lab. However, the girls are not running together after them now. AI tells them something, and the language they are using to communicate now is what I would call the kiss language. Their words are just kiss, and the rest of the girl zombies understand what AI is saying. Anyways, she tells them something, and the girls split up. MC sees them as they split up. He knows exactly what they are going to do. They are going to pin them, surrounding them from all sides at the stairs. Shizuka is running behind them while the other girls are roping around the school. MC gets an idea and tells Kusuri that she and he should split up as well. She should go to the chemistry lab to get started on the reversing serum, while MC lures these girls away somewhere. MC is now running alone, and Shizuka goes after him, leaving Kusuri alone. He knew it was going to work. The thing he notices is that Shizuka is not very fast because of her physical abilities. He can outrun her in no time and focus on the other girls. He goes far away from her and suddenly, Shizuka falls on the ground, accidentally tripping. MC sees this and comes running to her. He notices a giant redness on her forehead and tells her that she is going to the nurse's office right away. Saying this, MC picks her up and is now taking her to the nurse's office. They reach the office and see the notice on the door saying that the nurse is on leave due to some research work. This has got to be the worst timing. MC cannot let the door keep him from healing his girlfriend. He knows this is an emergency and it wouldn't be a problem, so he opens the door and goes in. Shizuka is on the bed when MC comes back with a bandage. He wraps Shizuka's forehead and she feels very good right away. But all Shizuka can say is kiss. It gets back to MC that he was right in the middle of the resident hazard. Another name our narrator gave this chapter. Shizuka has the opportunity and she takes it. She picks MC and throws him on the bed and gets on him. MC looks at his girlfriend, not knowing what is about to happen when Shizuka goes in for a kiss. She kisses MC, and this is the longest they have ever kissed. She gets up from the first kiss and goes right back for another one. She cannot stop herself, and even MC cannot focus on himself right now. He feels like his mind is spacing out, and he cannot tell if he is dreaming or if this is real. He forces himself and gets his senses back. Pushing Shizuka away, he apologizes to her. He knows he has to bring her back, and he promises that he will do just that. Saying this, MC picks her up and hangs her on the hanger. She cannot get down from there. Leaving the room, MC apologizes and tells her to hang in there. That is the best pun they could have added here. We see MC running to the chemistry lab and suddenly Inda and Hanazono appear right behind him. They are too fast for him, but MC tries his best to outrun them. He is successful for the most part and has gotten quite away from them, but these zombie girls have something up their sleeve that no one expected. Inda picks Hanazono up and spins around with her legs in her arms. Spinning around, Inda throws Hanazono toward MC with as much power as possible, making her the catapult. Well, you shouldn't name something when you can't. This is the best they could do and it works. Hanazono hits MC right in his back and this makes him fall to the ground. Now Hanazono is on top of him and this time, MC cannot do anything because these two are very strong compared to Shizuka. He cannot push them away. Hanazono looks at him and goes in for the kiss. After her, Inda comes and gets her kiss. MC starts blacking out once again and has no idea what he can do right now. He doesn't have anything to do as these girls are much stronger than him, but he sees them suddenly fighting. They start arguing like they used to argue and MC cannot help but look at them with a smile. The girl zombies are right in each other's face and they are arguing away. MC looks at them both and keeps imagining how they are always like this even when they are normal. But this is not the time to imagine but to act. So MC looks at the situation and pushes their faces into each other, making them kiss. MC knows these two have drunk the uncontrollable urge to kiss serum, and that can apply to everyone. The girls pull away and look at each other for a second before caving in and going for another kiss. It worked. MC knew it would work as these two are very close as normal, and they are what he calls the tough lovers. Now is the chance for MC to run, and he gets up and leaves, running to the chemistry lab, hoping that Kusuri would have made the reversing serum till now. He reaches the lab and upon opening the door, he sees Ai in there. He shuts the door right away and is shocked to see her in the lab instead of Kusuri. He has to act fast or he will get caught. Noticing the closet close to the lab, MC goes in and hides in there. Ai comes out looking for MC, but she cannot find him right now. In the closet, all MC could think about was when is Kusuri going to come and sneak into the lab so she could make the reversing serum. But how can she do that when she is hiding in the same closet with him? MC notices her scribbled down in the closet. She gets up telling MC that she cannot breathe, but MC has more things to worry about than that. Upon asking, Kusuri explains that she reached the lab and upon opening, she found Ai in there, so she decided to hide in there. This is the worst thing that could happen because how can she make the serums now for the other 4 girlfriends? This is an alarming situation and MC has to find a way to do something about it. Well, you could just leave the school and go home to make the serum while MC stays here. I think that would work. MC cannot figure out why Ai would go after Kusuri when the serum is for kissing MC. Why isn't she coming after only him? He is thinking hard about it when he figures out that maybe her intelligence didn't go away with the drug. That is why she is the one who told the others to flank them, and they split up. MC is thinking of a way to get Kusuri in the lab when Kusuri suggests that MC should lure Ai away while she can sneak in to do the work. But MC explains why that wouldn't work. He knows that if he ran outside so Ai could follow him, Ai would know that MC is trying to lure her away, and this would give away Kusuri hiding in the closet. It would be like telling her where Kusuri is. So that they cannot do this, they have to find something else. MC is going crazy because the time is running out, and if he doesn't give all of them their serums to reverse the drug, they are doomed in this situation forever. Kusuri starts regretting her decision and explains that this kind of thing has happened before. She feels like the love for making drugs is something that always comes with the worst situations. She knows all of the chemistry club members left because Kusuri always messed up and did weird things. So maybe her making drugs is not a good thing, and she should give up on that entirely. She knows that other people are not that relevant, but she would not do anything that would make the situation worse for MC. She loves him and doesn't want anything bad to happen to him. Saying this, she grabs MC and tells him that she is going to give up taking drugs. As she says this, MC looks at her in awe at how much she loves him. But Kusuri takes out a flask filled with only reverse serum, saying that they still have a chance. MC gets very excited, but Kusuri takes the flask and drinks all of it herself. MC stops her and the flask falls on the ground, breaking into pieces. MC asks why she drank it when they could have given it to Ai, so they have the only problem fixed for them. But Kusuri suddenly starts transforming into a bigger woman, and now she looks completely different than before. This gets MC blushing. Kusuri asks if something is wrong. It is wrong. The wrong thing is actually very favorable for MC, but not in this situation. They are so close and personal here that MC cannot help but feel warmth from her. Anyways, they cannot think about this right now. Kusuri sees a rope in the hanger in the closet and has an idea. She feels like she can get out and tie up Ai so they can do what they are after. But Kusuri has to act fast, or the reversing serum is going to diminish its results and she will get back to normal. Kusuri goes out and gets in front of Ai. Ai is alert and stares at her for a while before looking away. She doesn't find her interesting and starts looking for MC again. This is the moment for Kusuri, but she gives herself away telling that Kusuri is just passing by. Ai grabs her and ties Kusuri up. Now there is no chance for Kusuri to do what she intends to, and MC has to figure out something instead. He looks around and looks at the broken flask on the ground. He knows what is up and starts running. Ai sees him and runs behind him. MC knows he has to just run and don't get caught. But Ai is very fast and he has to be even faster for her. He reaches the end of the hall and closes himself in the room. Locking the door, MC gets on the floor and starts breathing, thinking that he has managed to get out of Ai's grasp. But he is totally wrong. Ai looks at the doorknob and starts pulling on it. She pulls harder and a doorknob comes off. Ai looks through the opening and MC gets scared. This is straight from the movie The Shining. Perfect place for the scene to be recreated, and they did it well. Hats off. MC is on the ground, and he has nothing in his reach to grab and sway her off. Ai gets on her knees and grabs MC, coming closer to him. She starts kissing him, and the hope is lost. MC knows that nothing can help him right now. Ai isn't letting him go, and they kiss for a hot minute before Kusuri comes to save the day. She has the reverse drug ready and gives it to Ai. She passes out after drinking it. MC is happy that the plan he kind of thought of worked. He knew that the drug was going to come off of Kusuri, and he had to just buy time, so he ran around and bought her some time before the drug came off. This made her get back to being small and untie herself. That is how she got free and got the time to make the drugs. Now they have to make 3 more for the 3 other girls. After giving them the drugs, they come back to normal. They wake up in the nursing office, and right after waking up, they all apologize to MC for doing what they did to him. He of course accepts their apology, saying that they were under the control of a strong drug, so it is not their fault. Hanazona tries to remember what happened and remembers her and Inda kissing away in the corridor. She wants to forget that and tells Inda that she also doesn't remember anything. Inda is confused for a second there, but also remembers what happened. MC is happy that they share a secret now, and this is going to bring them even closer. Suddenly, Kujira starts crying, saying that it is her fault that the mess was created, but MC tells her that it was also her drug that solved it. This makes her happy, and she jumps to kiss MC. It's late at night, and Hahari is sitting right beside the piano and Hikari is standing next to her. Hikari says something which makes Hikari close her fist shut. Whatever the woman is saying sounds to be nothing but trauma spells, and Hikari's eyes are bulging out in shock and she stands there frozen. Hikari gets up from her chair to whisper something in the other girl's ear and leaves, leaving Hikari completely heartbroken and horrified. The door shuts close, and then it is the next morning where Rentaro is excited to be in the Love Zone of Flower Park. The park is flooded with kids and flowers of different kinds can be seen. The place is perfect to find and observe different species of plants at the same time. The little girl, Kusuri, is really excited to collect nectar for her new drug research. She's running around playfully while the other three are just sitting there. A butterfly lands on Karane's finger. Then we see Rentaro and Hikari sitting together, and the boy thanks Hikari for bringing them to such a beautiful park. She humbly accepts his thank yous and tells him that she's been wanting to go there with Rentaro for a long time. When she was going to tell him about something, the announcement of the bouquet toss event beginning cuts her off. Rentaro has no idea about the said event, and the participants are asked to assemble in a specific area. Hikari tells Rentaro about the event. She says that the bouquet toss event is what the Love Zone Park is known for. The participants gather, and whoever catches the bouquet gets a chance to wear a wedding gown decorated with the park's pretty flowers. The winner also gets to click cute pictures with their romantic partners or whoever they love. Rentaro is eager to participate, and so is the redhead. Karane starts burning at the thought of a wedding dress photo shoot with Rentaro. Shizuka repeats the vows the groom and bride say, while the Nano finds Shizuka's mockery efficient. Hikari has always wanted to wear a wedding dress as she found it to be a symbol of love, and is determined to make her dream come true. The group gathers in front of the plaza, which is already very crowded. Rentaro and Hikari are surprised to see so many people there, and then suddenly, a man covered in makeup and two little braids gets the crowd's attention. He tells his little army to secure that bouquet for him and you, and starts to laugh hysterically. Rentaro doesn't get what their deal was, and Nano tells him the group was infamous as the Guerrilla Syndicate. This Japanese biker gang came into being in the early 21st century, and has been there since. Rentaro thanks her, and Hikari seems disappointed that their chances to win the bouquet seem less now. She wants all of them to work together for some time, and who'll get to go for the photo shoot can be decided later. The rest find it to be a great idea. Meanwhile, the Guerrilla Gang is overly excited to win. Rentaro seems a little worried and wants Shizuka to stay away from the crowd for her safety. Karane agrees with him and says that for Shizuka's tiny height, it'll be better if she avoids the crowd to avoid getting crushed. Rentaro is about to decide something for Kusuri, and she's more than ready to obey him. With that, Shizuka and Kusuri won't be joining them in the competition. Then IA pops her butt in, and they are all good to go for the event now. Rentaro is amazed by the Guerrilla Gang's flags and wants to have something of that sort for his group, so he pulls out a marker and a towel and starts creating a flag. The girls stand there confused, and Rentaro gets done with whatever he was up to in a little while. He shows the towel flag to the girls, and they go all red when they read the word family written on it. They then join their hands together as the Rentaro family and are ready to win the bouquet toss competition. Little Shizuka was hopping up and down to support her group, and the Guerrilla Gang's men found her really adorable. The bouquet event is about to begin, and the host tells the participants to avoid any physical attacks. He then invites the guest who will be tossing the bouquet. It was Baba Ann, the supersonic arm, and the previous shot putter. Rentaro is surprised to see his principal there. He knew she was into sports, but the fact she'd been a shot putter was new to him, and Karane says that Baba Ann owned every kind of sport. Rentaro finds her too perfect to be a human, and the woman blows a kiss to the crowd. When the host asks for Baba's thoughts on the event, she says she doesn't wish happiness upon anyone and wants the bouquet to disappear in the air. The host is at a loss for words, and with that, the countdown to start the event begins. As soon as it counts to 1, Baba jumps into the air and throws the bouquet towards the crowd like the true tosser she is. The crowd hurriedly follows the bouquet, and Rentaro assumes that the posy will take a while to land when Karane asks him what should be done. So they keep running as fast as they can. Meanwhile, the Guerrilla Gang's men are cleaning up the people in the back. Rentaro is shocked to see the violence of rules, and right then, the Gorilla Man punches a man out, violating the rule again. He then spun another one out of the game, and the victim was about to hit Hikari, but Karane came to her rescue just in time. Karane ties her hair up and declares that she'll be joining the Guerrilla Gang if the rules are going to be violated like that. The group finds her really cool, and Karane starts to fight the gang's leader. She says she'll be joining the training session if that's what it takes to win. The other man was shocked by how strong the girl was and says she's like a gorilla herself. Karain tells Rentaro to grab the bouquet while she takes care of the gorilla man. The gorilla man signals his men to start the Goricane and they follow his command right away. The Goricane tornado takes the bouquet in it and the gorilla man is happy thinking the victory was his. Rentaro notices that and then sees a bird coming down towards the bouquet. It was not a bird but Shizuka who was flying, holding the towel poster as a parachute. Rentaro figures that she must have flown away because of her light weight when she was cheering beside the gorilla gang. While Shizuka is in the air, the bouquet happens to float by her and she seizes the opportunity to grab it. As she holds the bouquet, she loses the towel as a glider and starts falling down. She doesn't want to die yet and her friends don't either. Rentaro runs towards her and wants to prevent her from getting hurt. The three girls gather around and hope to catch Shizuka on their bouncy chests. But the game turns around and Rentaro safely grabs her before she hits the ground. Shizuka hugs Rentaro and starts to sob, begging him to marry her. The gorilla man starts to cry for losing and Karain holds her hand out to shake hands with him as a gesture of gratefulness. She was glad that she was busy fighting the gorilla and could avoid being with the rest of the group. And like that, the Rentaro family wins the bouquet toss competition. The group is happy and Hiraki reminds them to choose who will get to go for the photo shoot with Rentaro. For the toss, Hiraki brought a bunch of sticks, and Nano thinks she's horny for that. Hiraki decides whoever gets the one with the red mark on the end wins. The girl is too cunning as she had everything planned beforehand. She knew that the competition was going to be tough, and they all would need to work together. So she kept the sticks with her, and the one with the red mark also has a tiny cut on the visible end. Hiraki hopes to get the winning stick, but picking the winning stick first would make her look very suspicious, and as a consequence, she'll call for someone else to draw the stick first. Hiraki decides that she'll be calling Nano first as she assumes Nano will pick the stick closest to her. If Hiraki shifts the winning stick to herself, there will be no chance that Nano will win. Hiraki is too desperate to win the chance to wear that wedding gown and apologizes to everyone in her head. As she asks Nano to withdraw the stick, the woman stuns her with the idea of everyone picking their sticks at the same time. Bet Hiraki never thought about it. Hiraki goes into a state of complete shock and questions Nano's intelligence and existence even. They all happen to draw the stick at the same time and luckily enough, Hiraki got the one with red color at its end. Yeah, she won. The rest of the group is sad about losing while Nano mostly looks unfazed. Hiraki is the happiest girl after winning and too glad to see her dream become reality. Kyusuri is throwing a fit on the ground, saying she wanted to wear that flower gown and take pictures with Rentaro too. Rentaro tries to cheer her up saying she'll have more chances to do so in future. Hiraki looks at the two and then looks at the winning stick. She thinks to herself that someone else deserves to win, not her. She feels bad for Kyusuri and decides to give the stick to her so she can cherish the memories with Rentaro. Karain goes into shock, wondering if Hikari was sick or something. Kyusuri is overjoyed and she hugs Hiraki, expressing how much she loves her. Kyusuri stays glued to her, and when she stops sobbing, Hiraki asks her what's wrong. Kyusuri says that Hiraki and Rentaro are both her favorite people and she would love to see them taking pictures together. Karain says that Kyusuri needs to get over this thing already, and Hiraki suggests taking pictures as a group. Karain says that they already have a bunch of group photos, but Hiraki wants everyone to be in this specific photo shoot. And like that, the photo shoot begins, and Hiraki gets to wear her dream wedding gown. The photographer asks all of them to smile, and they all get to make yet another beautiful memory together. The girls were excited to see how the picture turned out to be. Hikari thanks Rentaro while the rest walk ahead. Rentaro doesn't understand why she's thanking her, so she tells him how it was her dream to take pictures with her beloved in that wedding gown. She tells Rentaro how her life has been a fantasy since the day he came into her life. Rentaro gets shy and says she feels the same about her. He thanks Hiraki for literally everything too, and Hiraki asks him if she can make another request to him. The boy says she can ask him to do anything for her, and he wouldn't think twice before fulfilling it. So Hikari goes on to make a strange and very unexpected wish. She asks Rentaro to break up with her. Well, that was really uncalled for. Rentaro was shocked to hear that from Hiraki and wonders what went wrong as she had to request such a strange thing. He thinks to himself that he must confront Hiraki about it and gets ready to meet her. Rentaro comes out of his room and asks for Rentaro. The woman tells him that his girlfriend had some urgent business and she left in a car after receiving the wedding picture. Kuzuri wonders if the urgent business was peeing, and Karain says that Hikari is not a kid like her. Nano and Shizuka stand there clueless too and wonder what is up. Rentaro tells them not to worry and dials Hiraki's number. She finds it dumb to make them worried about the matter without even knowing about her whereabouts. All the while, Kuzuri makes her assumptions about how Hikari pees too. Hikari doesn't pick up her phone, and Rentaro thinks of the only random thing his girlfriend had once sent him. Hikari once sent some sexy pictures of herself to her boyfriend, and the envelope had her address on its back. Rentaro's brain functions fortunately, and he arrives at Hiraki's place. When he reaches there, he is surprised to see such a huge mansion of a house with fountains and ponds in it. Rentaro then sees Hikari looking out of a window and starts waving at her, screaming her name. Hikari listens to him and gestures to him to get down with worried expressions on her face. Rentaro understands the assignment, and it becomes clearer as he sees a guard running in his direction. The guard leaves when he finds nothing there, and Rentaro looks up, all confused now that he sees a guard in her place. Later, he gets a phone call, and it was Hikari. The girl tells him to say whatever it is, as she doesn't have much time. Rentaro notices that Hikari didn't have her cell phone with her, and that she was using a landline. He asks Hikari for some kind of explanation regarding their breakup. Rentaro says that he's really in love with her. Hikari says that the reason for the breakup was that she fell out of love with Rentaro. She tells him to accept it and move on with life. Something is clearly not right. Rentaro refuses to accept her hollow reasoning and tells her that he won't be believing her lies and will leave only and only if she tells him the truth. Hikari then decides to spill the truth to the guy. She tells him that her mother found out about their group and that Rentaro is dating multiple girls at the same time. Despite Hiraki's explanations about Rentaro's faithfulness, her mother decided that Hiraki will be moving cities and will transfer to another school as well. She confiscated her phone too, and she has no option but to accept it. Rentaro was speechless, and Hiraki tells him that her mother will use everything in power, that being her money, to make things go her way. Hiraki tells Rentaro that they can't be together anymore as her mother will tear them apart no matter how many times they get back together. She was about to tell Rentaro to leave when her mother entered the room. She overhears Hikari and snatches the phone to tell Rentaro to avoid approaching Hiraki from then on. She threatens Rentaro, and he happens to recognize her voice. Hiraki's mother cuts off the call, and Rentaro begs her to listen to him, at least for once. The guard hears his screams and runs to him to ask what his deal was. Rentaro tells the guard that he needs to talk with the people living in the house. The guard happens to recognize Rentaro as Hiraki's mother's ex-boyfriend. The woman had strictly told the guards to prevent Rentaro from letting in, so he tries to kick him out of there, but Rentaro pleads and begs. The man grabs him and asks him if he wants to get arrested. He tells him to give up on whatever he's so desperate for, as the world won't go in a kid's way anyway. On the other hand, Hiraki's mother is scolding her for contacting Rentaro again. Hiraki begs her to let this whole thing go, but the woman doesn't have a heart, I guess. She threatens Hiraki that she'll send Rentaro far, far away from there if this keeps going on. Hiraki kneels down and begs for forgiveness. She promises that she won't go against her word again and asks her mother to let Rentaro go. Hikari walks up to her and says that is exactly how she's supposed to be in front of her. What kind of a mother is this woman? She then hugs Hikari and says the same thing every parent says. She tells Hikari that everything she's doing is for Hikari's own good. Hikari emphasizes on how Rentaro is a 5-timer and that she won't let a maggot like him destroy her flower of a daughter. The day is almost over, and Rentaro is walking back to his place looking anything but himself. What Hiraki said earlier keeps replaying in his head. Hikari's threats keep ringing too, and the guards won't make it better either. He looks lifeless and gets really frustrated. He puts his hands against a wall aggressively and starts to scream. He's frustrated about everything that happened earlier and thinks of himself as a loser. Rentaro's got no power, no money on his hand, and as a kid, he's a stranger to love as well. He feels hopeless, and just then, he sees a little plant growing down the wall. Seeing it makes the memories of the time spent with Hiraki flood back. Rentaro's expressions suddenly change, and it's nighttime now. Rentaro is sitting in a swing, and Karain is frustrated after hearing everything from the guy. The girls find her mother to be really unfair, and Nano thinks they'll never be able to resolve this thing ever. Kuzuri worriedly asks Rentaro what he plans to do about it. The guy plans to break into Hiraki's house and get her out of there. Kuzuri knows that what plans to do is called eloping, and Shizuka is scared that it might be too hard of a task for him. Hiraine says that Haruki is too rich and he can be tracked easily by her mom. Nano thinks that Renteru's plan will end up as failure, but the dude is way too determined to bring happiness to his girlfriend. It doesn't matter how long and what it will take to pursue that, but he wants to give it a shot. Renteru couldn't bear seeing Haruki looking all scared and helpless there, so he plans to run away from the town with her. He is not sure about anything but promises the girls that the two will return to them sometime soon. Renteru asks them if they'll wait for them. Hiraine says that he's spouting bullcrap, and with the way things are going, there's no surety to when Renteru will return. She says that all of them can't stay hopelessly in love with him, and she says something really unexpected. Karain wants to help Renteru get Hikari out of that mansion. The rest agree with Karain, and Nano thinks that working together will turn the tables around and their chance of winning will increase. Kyusuri and Shizuka wish to join the journey of eloping too. Renteru at first doesn't find the idea to be very ideal, but after looking at how determined the girls look, he figures that all love Haruki just as much as him, so he gives in and allows them to join him. They all get ready to go on the mission of bringing their girl, Hikari, back. Hikari, out of nowhere, decided to part ways with Renteru. That put him in a state of complete breakdown, as he deemed powerless to do anything about the situation. Hikari did so to protect her boyfriend from the claws of her overprotective and possessive mother. But Renteru is lucky enough to have the Renteru family to back him up. All of them genuinely cared for Hikari and decided to help Renteru in bringing Hikari back to their very place. Now begins the great test of their love, which they must pass. Renteru's squad is finally at Hikari's place, and Kyusuri is really surprised to see a fountain in the yard. Karain is also shocked to see the huge mansion, and Nano ironically compliments the logic of using the noise of the fountain to sneak in the house. Renteru tells her that they need to be careful considering the security situation there. Shizuka looks at the guy as they all have his back for the matter. Renteru excitedly joins hands to raise their spirits, but the girls think he is still a silly little guy, and that turns his cheeks red. Hikari didn't have her phone at the moment, so Renteru pulled out a rubber ball to get the girls' attention. He threw the ball towards the window, but the aim turned out to be a failure. Suddenly, the rubber ball is nowhere to be found, and they all start to look for it. Karain turns around to see a furry cat playing with a ball, and the girl silently screams and asks if the cat was owned by the rich house owners. She asks the cat to return the ball, but the furry literally runs away, leaving the girl with no choice but to follow it around. Kyusuri joins too, but her presence ends up scaring the cat away. Karain asks her to be a little careful, and the little girl apologizes. The cat is running towards Nano's direction, and the cold girl finds disabling the cat to be the most efficient way of dominating it. Renteru screams at her to not do that cause their necks mustn't be risked for the matter. Renteru rushes to the cat, and their argument gets a little louder, which alerts the security. The guard shouts in their direction, and they run to hide behind the bushes. Renteru has the cat in his lap too, and the rest of the group is hiding in pretty weird postures. The cat decides to escape the matrix and run towards the guard. The guard is relieved to find that the cat was causing the noise. The cute dude starts to play with the cat and the ball it was carrying. The group then stands up to look at the cat, and the guard and Kyusuri says they can't get their hands back on the ball now. Hikari's room was locked too, so Renteru decides they will enter her room themselves. Karain worriedly asks how they are even supposed to enter her room. Nano thinks of a great idea and suggests breaking into the house via the pet door. Gladly, the pet door was unlocked, and Shizuka says they are too big for the small entrance. Karain asks the chemist Kyusuri if her drug can be used to make them smaller. Kyusuri tells her that her drug can't be used for that since it's just a failed immortality drug. Renteru still finds that statement insane, and Karain looks at Nano, who is walking to them with something in her hands. When Karain asks her what she's carrying, she shows a bunch of pebbles she collected from the garden. Nano then walks to the door and does something using the pebbles, and guess what? The door unlocks, and it shocks the group just as much. The girls ask her how she even did that. Nano tells them that she figured out the lock's location and type by just looking at the door and hitting the lock with rocks at the correct position and speed to unlock it. She's a walking android for real, and Nano says that delaying their mission will lead them to failure. Thus they need to get inside the house all at once. Renteru notices something on Nano's hand, so he grabs it to take a look. Her nail was injured and it was bleeding. That makes the rest of them worried, but fortunately, Renteru was carrying first aid with him inside his backpack. Karain pulls the band-aid out and covers Nano's fingernail with it. The girl scolds her for being so careless, and Nano tells her that she needed to use her nail to make sure her trick worked. When Karain scolds her again for being reckless, Nano tells her she did so cause she owed to return the favor to Hikari. Then a flashback of Hikari fighting for Nano plays in her mind, and she closes her eyes. She tells the group that she wants to help Hikari. They finally step feet inside the premises of the mansion, and something scary pops out of nowhere. It was an angry dog staring at them with bloody red eyes. Kusuri screams in fear, saying it was a bear, but as soon as the moonlight enlightens the dog's feet, Karain realizes it was an elite people's guard dog. It looks really angry, and Hentaru tells the girls that they'll fail if it attacks them. He commands them to leave through the door right away, and they follow. All of them are in the yard again. And panting out of fear and relief, Kusuri says she almost peed her pants because of the guard dog. Hentaru realizes that Shizuka was not with them. He doesn't want to know where she would be, but he looks back inside nonetheless. And there Shizuka was, shivering in one place, in an immobile state with the dog holding her hostage. Hentaru stands there in shock while Shizuka is telling the dog to let her go as she doesn't taste that good. Shizuka is too scared to get herself to stand on 2 feet. Hentaru starts shouting her name, and Nano shuts his mouth. She tells him that doing so will provoke the dog even more, and the guards will take no mercy on them either. Nano tells Hentaru that she has some theory in her mind. Poor Shizuka is sitting there in fear with teary eyes, regretting coming along with the group. She tells herself that she should have stayed back if she was going to burden the group instead of helping them out. Then the good times spent with Hikari flood her mind, and she immediately remembers her goal. She realizes that she's there to help her lovely Hikari-san. Rentaru would also risk his life to do anything for his girlfriend, and that revives the dead spirit in Shizuka. She tells herself that she's there to do the same, and she lays down with tears rolling down her face. Shizuka outs herself for the heroic sacrifice, and that is all she can do at the moment. She wishes well to her stupid friends, and Rentaru calls for her in the back. The guard dog starts to approach the girl, and her heart is pounding. The girl closes her eyes to accept death, but literally seconds later, she's woken up by some licking noises. She opens her eyes in shock to realize the dog was actually licking her cute cheeks with love. Rentaru and Karain watch all of that in shock while Nano stands there with a blank face. She says that she knew the dog wouldn't attack Yoshimoto Shizuka. Guard dogs tend to have a soft spot for weak animals and babies and feel this urgent need to protect them. But the girl was invading the dog's territory, right? Nano tells Karain that Shizuka's cuteness overpowered the dog's territorial instincts. That makes all 3 of them overwhelmed, and Rentaru asks Nano what they should do next. He says that the dog will get aggressive if they enter through the door again. Nano advises Rentaru to tell Shizuka to gouge the dog's eyes out with her hands whenever she gets a chance. This girl is unhinged. Rentaru is in shock and tells her to stop being violent towards her girlfriend's pets. Kusuri pulls out her test tube and says she'll take over the situation. She enters the house and rolls the drug towards the pet. The test tube carried a drug that puts any animal to sleep quickly. That relieves Rentaru, and Kusuri tells Shizuka to use that drug. I can tell where this is going. Shizuka drinks the drug herself instead of feeding it to the dog. That puts the girl to sleep instantly, and Rentaru and Karain can't believe their eyes. Karain screams at the unconscious Shizuka for being an idiot. Kusuri is crying frustrated tears too. They don't know what to do now, and moments later, the dog falls asleep too. That gives them an option to quickly get in and wake Shizuka up using the reversing medicine. They're finally inside the house, and the hallways are really long. Rich people's cat appears in the rich people's hallways, and Karain is still bitter about the rubber ball. Rentaru tells her to chill, and suddenly, a buzzer is heard. They all look towards its direction, and Rentaru realizes it was the security. They all start to panic as they're stuck inside the house. The cat saves them again, and the wholesome guard approaches it to pet the cat and give it some treats. For being a bad boy, the guards are tired of the cat's crap and can't stop wondering where it keeps appearing from. Same. As the guards leave, the group stands there behind a wall, holding their breaths. They all are praying to not get caught in their head. When the guards finally do leave, they breathe for a while. Rentaru is scared of infrared sensors, and Shizuka thinks it'll be hard for them to even step foot inside the house. Nano tells them that they can't enter the house unless they have IR goggles. Kusuri tells them to not worry as she's carrying infrared eye drops in her pocket. Rentaru shouts in utter shock, and Kusuri tells him to use the medicine if he finds it too bad. That humbles the boy real quick, and he says he's okay with using it. Karain is holding a weird nano back while the boy is busy with the droplets. Kusuri is kinda hyping him up and decides to finally mention the side effects of the drops. She tells him that the droplets will cause blindness temporarily, so he needs to be careful. At least she told him about it. She tells Rentaro to close his eyes and Karain picks up the envelope Kusuri dropped earlier. Nano is about to mention an address, but Kusuri quickly snatches the envelope from Karain's hand and hides it in her pocket. She seems a little sauced, so Karain asks her what's the deal. The address was written in English and Nano tells Karain that it was addressed to a foreign research team. That makes Karain remember the time Kusuri mentioned wanting to make into her dream research team. Nano mentions that today was the last date to mail that drug there, and Karain turns to Kusuri. Everyone knows how passionate she was about it, and Rentaro asks if it is okay to use that drug among themselves. Kusuri looks down to the ground in sadness and says she's caused Hakari lots of trouble with her drugs. But she is a friend nonetheless, and way more important than the research team. Rentaro is happy to know how much his girlfriend, Hakari, is loved by the Rentaro family. All of them would go out of their way to help her, and by that time, the drug should start working too. Kusuri points at it and Rentaro opens his eyes. His eyes look a lot different, and he's all there to save Hakari, no matter what it takes. But tone it down, Rentaro, a bunch of rays await you down the house. The number of red rays shocks the guy, and he screams that the mission is indeed impossible. The rays covered the roofs and floors, and the ceiling seems to be a little lower than before too. Rentaro notices a change in his vision ever since he used the droplets. Shizuka mentions that the ceiling seems higher than Yggdrasil even. There were chandeliers in the ceilings too, and Rentaro gets the answer. The sensors can't be put around the chandeliers, that's why the ceilings seemed lower. Rentaro has his hopes restored, but Karain crushes them right away by asking how they're supposed to get up there. He says that if the corridors were narrower, they could have made it work, but considering the width now, it is kinda impossible. Nano says that they can still climb up there if two strong people climb up together. The risk of failure is still there as there are more girls and one boy. She looks at Karain, catching her off guard. All of them looked at her weird, and yeah, they tied her to Rentaro with a rope. The two are stuck between the two walls in a weird way, and Nano informs them about the drawbacks. Rentaro cuts her off, saying it is Karain and him after all. They will be in sync, but Karain is tired of it already. And off they go to succeed. Hopefully, they finally make it above the sensors. They just need to cross the rest. They keep moving and pass the chandelier too. At one point, Karain seems a little off, so Rentaro asks if she's okay. She says it was nothing, and Rentaro mentions how her silky clothes are slipping, and he almost thought something else. Poor girl's panty is showing, and the way Rentaro is holding her is making her feel something. They keep up, and Karain is having a hard time dealing with the way Rentaro is holding her waist. She's literally begging the guy to not press that hard on her belly. His cheeks are slipping over her tummy, and the heat seems to be rising. She is internally screaming and her eyes are teary. They end up making it in the end, and the rest are happy with the success. Rentaro and Karain will keep on moving ahead, and the guy tells the three of them to hide outside and stay ready to run. They look pretty disappointed but follow his words anyway. Rentaro cheers them up, saying they'll meet again after they have Hakari with them. The night is dark, and the two are walking towards Hakari's room silently. They finally reach there, and as Karain opens the door, Hakari gets scared. She is sitting beside her bed, looking at the photo album of the Rentaro family. Hakari was definitely crying and missing his lovely friends, and as Karain is about to say something, buzzers go off alerting the security. The automated woman keeps repeating that Hakari is escaping the house, and it is all a mess now. Rentaro turns cold in shock at the thought of a mother going as far regarding her daughter. Hakari asks them what they are doing there, and Rentaro tells her that they'll bring her with them. Karain looks back and tells Rentaro they won't make it anymore. The room is surrounded by a bunch of security guards, and Hakari's mother enters the room. She demands answers regarding Rentaro and Karain's presence there, and Hakari calls out for her. Rentaro recognizes the woman's voice too. Then we see the other three girls wondering what's going on inside the mansion. The torch suddenly lights up in their direction, and a guard approaches them. The girls lay down and start to meow, and they're safe. Hakari is crying and thinking about how willing Rentaro is to bring happiness in her life. But again, her mother won't allow any bit of it in her life, and like that, the poor Dougal gets stuck between her and her mother forever with no way out. She's thinking about doing something about being a burden to Rentaro while her mother inquires about the two of them in the living room. Ahari introduces herself to them and remembers the last time she talked to Rentaro from afar. Hahari warns the two, saying they're being allowed to be themselves only because they're Hikari's friends. She says she won't stay lenient if they try to do anything unwanted in her house. Hahari looks at the guard and thinks how quickly she would have disposed of the two of them hadn't it been for Hikari. The woman finally notices Renteru's eyes and asks him why they look so weird. She thinks it's because he has some sort of special ability, but the dude tells her that is not the case. He thinks to himself how badly they failed to get Hikari out of there. There's only one thing left that they can do now. He gets down on his knees and asks the woman to give him and Hikari her blessings. He also promises her that he'll do everything in his power to make Hikari happy. That is all he could do at the moment. Hahari argues back, saying how dumb of it is for Renteru to shut her mouth with such a hollow promise. She then starts to tell the lore about Hikari's birth. Hahari gave birth to Hikari at the age of 13 when she was just in middle school. She asks Renteru what he thinks about why she did what she did. Renteru thinks it was because she loved babies, but no, the man Hahari loved fell severely ill and was bound to die. To keep his memory, he needed to have a part of him beside her. Hence, she got the best medical care and took a risk of artificial insemination and gave birth at such a young age. Those reckless times still make her wonder how she did all of that, but again, the recklessness is in their blood. In hers and Hikari's, they become completely blind when they fall in love, and the only source of happiness for them is their person. But unfortunately, Hikari's lover died and she was left alone with just Hikari by her side. She devoted her whole life to that little girl and loved her wholeheartedly. Hikari gave her hope, but she could never fill in the gap her dead lover left. She would mourn the loss and visit his grave every once in a while with Hikari in her arms. Hahari tells the kids that since that day, she asks herself daily if all of this was really what she wanted. She is possessive about Hikari because she doesn't want her to go through the same track of joy followed by deep regret. She's doing all of that cruel stuff so she can let her daughter know the cruelty of the world early on. She gets loud when she mentions how Renteru is dating multiple girls at the same time. A guy like him can never bring joy to her only daughter, and that is what she's trying to make her realize. Hahari then tells them she's not doing all of that for nothing. Renteru's empty words can never assure a good life for Hikari, and Renteru is having a breakdown. He's a sobbing mess, and Karain tells him to get his shit together and convince Hahari. Renteru is upset after knowing what Hahari went through in the past and doesn't want Hikari to experience the same pain again. As he sobs, his eyes start to regain vision, and when he sees Hahari, he is left in complete shock. The two stare at each other in complete silence, and the woman who's been alone for 16 years with regrets as her only partners suddenly blushes so hard and asks Renteru to go out with her. She can't see again. We see Hikari's mother so mad at MC that she is willing to punish him for his sins. She doesn't like it one bit that he is dating 5 girls at the same time, and that is the worst thing a man can do. She does not like that at all, and for that, she is planning on punishing the hell out of NC. This is a flashback, and it ends with Hikari's mother proposing to NC. She was mad at him a little while ago, but now she is begging MC to go out with her. She is a totally different person in just a matter of minutes, and now she is willing to be his 6th one. Well, that was a very odd way to start an episode. How is it that this MC just lays out other girls just like that, and they are willing to go out with him in just a few seconds? They cannot even control their emotions after getting struck by the love lightning. Anyway, the episode starts and Hikari's mother is dying to go out with him. Right now, MC and Inde are at Hikari's as they are here to convince her mother so she can go out with MC. But another thing happened right here, and instead of giving permission, she is begging MC to go out with her. She is also making that cute baby face that shows how helpless she is with her emotions. Anyways, Inde and MC are very confused and shocked, I would say. They cannot believe what they just heard, and Inde freaks out asking what the hell she just said to MC. She tries to tell her that they are here to get permission so MC can start his 5th relationship with Hikari, but she does not listen. We also see MC staring at Hikari's mother, and he is also sensing the same emotions toward Hikari's mother as she is toward him. They are right now in the middle of that love lightning strike, and they cannot help but feel loved right now. This is unavoidable now, and Hikari's mother cannot do anything about it. Inde notices this and tells MC that this is Hikari's mother, the mother of his 5th potential girlfriend. He cannot date her as that is not by the rules. Well, what are the rules then? This guy is dating 5 girls at the same time, and none of them object to his actions. There are no rules when you are doing this kind of thing, even in an anime. She tries telling him, but MC ignores her. But Hikari's mother gets back her senses and behaves as if she did not say what she just said intentionally. MC tries behaving that way as well, but they are not selling it. Hikari's mother tries telling Inda that she was just joking around and just did a mom joke. But Inda knows well, and she knows that this was not just a joke, but that love strike MC gets with his new soulmate. Anyways, Hikari's mother let MC know that she cannot allow him to continue his relationship with Hikari, as he is already with 4 other girls, and that is something she does not like. She would allow it if he is willing to leave others and just go out with her daughter, but not like this. MC thinks about it but knows that he cannot just leave his other soulmates like that. That is something that he cannot even risk doing because he knows what happens when you leave your soulmate. MC tries convincing Hikari's mother to let him go out with his daughter, but she is not convinced. She cannot allow him to just go out with her daughter. He has to prove himself before getting that permission, and she has the perfect way to do that. She snaps her finger and the ground opens up, revealing a weird kind of chair. The chair is a lie-detecting chair, and Hikari's mother claims that it has always detected the lies of the person sitting on it. This chair has a success rate of 100%, and she is sure that this is going to do the job for them. All MC has to do is sit on the chair and prove that his love for her daughter is real, and that he is not just playing around. MC looks at the chair and is not convinced to sit on it, so he wants Hikari's mother to first prove that the chair actually works. He wants to know that he is not getting led towards a trap, and this chair is actually a lie detector chair. Hikari's mother hears his proposition and understands that MC has a point here. So she suggests that Inda should be the one to sit on the chair so MC can know that the chair works. Inda sits on the chair unwillingly, and she complains as to why she is the one to sit on it and test the chair for MC, and not some other guy. Hikari's mother explains that it has to be her, as she cannot put her people on it as it is not going to be convincing enough. Inda understands this and wants to get on with this test. She tells MC that she is not doing this for him or anything, but MC knows that she is doing this for him only. Why does she always act this roughly? Hikari's mother has the perfect questions to ask Inda. She asks her the first question and wants to know what is Inda's cup size. She freaks out and wants to know why she is asking her this question. Hikari's mother tells her that this is the question to ask so they can check if she is telling the truth. This makes sense to her and she answers the question by saying that she is B size, closer to C size. The chair tells us that she is telling a lie, and Inda starts yelling saying that she is not. After a lot of yelling, she changes her answer to only B size, but the chair again tells us that she is lying. She starts screaming at the chair more and tells us that she is not lying. After a little more yelling, she changed her answer to B size, closer to a size. The chair approves this answer and lets her go. Hikari's mother tells MC that he should be convinced that the chair is legit and not a trap, but he is not. He wants more questions. Hikari's mother asks if Inda loves MC or not. MC objects to this question, asking what kind of question this is. Inda also starts yelling, saying that this is a strange question and one that should not be asked. Hikari's mother cannot understand why Inda has to yell every time, but MC tells her that this yelling is what makes her cute for him. This thing about her is the only thing that is unique to her and what makes her gosh dang cuter. Inda wants to get this over with so she can get out of this lousy chair. Anyway, she answers the question and tells him that she loves him. The chair tells us that she is lying. This makes MC fall to the ground and bleed everywhere. She answers it again, saying that she loves him very, very much, but the chair again tells us that she is lying. This only increases MC's bleeding, and he is spewing blood everywhere. He cannot take it, and Inda can't believe what the chair is telling them. She suddenly remembers how the chair said true only after she chose the right words for her answer. With this in mind, she tells MC that she loves him a lot and cannot live without him. It again tells us that she is lying, but she finally says that she loves him a lot in the whole world and loves him very, very, very much, or something like that. Only now the chair approves and tells us that she is telling the truth. MC becomes very happy and takes Inda's hand to get her up from the chair. He sits on it and says it back to Inda, making sure she knows about his love for him. Hikari's mother now wants to know if MC is satisfied with the chair and knows the chair works. He is sure and sits on the chair. Upon asking, he tells us that he is in love with Hikari and loves her very much. The chair approves his answer and the mother cannot take it. Her stomach hurts and she cannot handle the truth. MC wants her to know that his feelings toward Hikari are real and not something he wants to take lightly. Hikari's mother gets up straight and refuses to believe the chair. She says that the chair is nothing but a machine at the end, and she cannot take its answer as something final. Inda is mad, and she cannot just let her do this to her. After she took her dignity making her confirm her love like that, she is not going to let her get away with this. She wants her to let these two go out like that. She is not letting them. She wants MC to know that she is going to do as much as she can to make sure these two do not go out, but MC wants her to quick things up as they have to get this done by this episode. He tells her that they cannot make it late as or quick the ending to this episode as they have made a special outro for this episode only. But she wants MC to know that they can skip that one and do it some other time. I love these kinds of lines where the characters say something like this: "It is always going to be great for me." Suddenly, a guard comes running and barging into the room. He tells them that Hikari is going to be jumping out of her window right now and they have to stop her. MC and all of them freak out. MC wants to run and help her, but her mother is not going to let him go to her in this situation. Inda gets behind her and grabs her by the neck. She warns the guards that if one of them moves an inch, she is going to be breaking the mother's neck like that. The guards do not take her seriously, but MC freaks out, telling everyone that she can actually do that. Breaking neck is like breaking chopsticks for her, but Inda is confused as to why he is the one getting the most freaked out about it. Anyways, she tells MC to go and help Hikari while she holds her mother. He asks them what he is going to do about Inda. Inda wants him to know that he can make time to come and get her some other time. She knows that they are not going to be away for more than some time. She told him some time ago that he cannot just leave them and stay gone forever while they are still in love with him. MC remembers this and believes her. He goes and runs toward Hikari's room to get her. Meanwhile, her mother overcomes Inda's grab and tells her that she cannot just control the mother's love like that. She actually makes Inda move a bit with her force. She is dragging Inda with her, and Inda cannot seem to be controlling her anymore. But Inda knows that she cannot if she lets her go this time. She is going to be making sure that Hikari and MC do not go out again, and that is something that is going to crush MC. She cannot watch that happen, so she is going to be giving her best here to keep Hikari's mother from moving. She does her best and actually makes her stop moving a bit. On the other hand, in Hikari's room, we see her in the window and she is about to jump. Outside, the guards are trying to convince her not to jump, and behind them, all of the other MC's girlfriends are as well, and they are trying their best as well to stop her from doing this. But she is not listening to anyone right now. Suddenly, she hears MC's voice and he is right behind her, extending his arm toward her. He tells her that she does not have to do this and they can go somewhere away from her. She would love that, but she cannot just go with him. She knows that if she went away with him right now, he would always be shackled with her mother and his life would be miserable. She cannot do that to him, and for that, she is going to make this easy for him by jumping out of the window. But MC does not want that. He knows that his life would be miserable, but if she is not in his life, he cannot do anything. He knows that her not being in his life is the worst thing that could happen, and he would hate that. He would never forgive himself for not saving her right now. His life would be not okay, but with her by his side, they could do something and at least stay together. By doing that, MC would be happy instantly. This struck Hikari. She loved every word MC said. MC adds that he wants to live the rest of his life with her, and he knows that she wants the same as well. Hikari is in awe and she agrees with MC. Saying this, she starts crying and cannot help but feel loved right now. MC tells her that she has to come inside now, and she is going to be, but something happens. Her adrenaline wore off and now she is in her senses and she realizes where she is. She is on the edge of the window and now she realizes how high up she is. She starts shaking and she cannot help it. MC knows what is happening and tells her to just stay put and he will come to her. She tries to, but she slips and falls from the window. MC runs toward the window and he grabs Hikari's hand. He is on the edge of the window, almost sliding over while holding Hikari. He cannot hold her any longer or he is going to be falling to the ground with her. Hikari's mother and Inda come to the room as well on time and they freak out seeing them in this position. MC slips and they both fall. MC knows that he would never let anything happen to Hikari, so he grabs her close and pushes himself off the wall toward the pool. They fall in the pool and Ai and Shizuka jump in the pool to save them. Shizuka passed out herself, but Ai was able to get them both out in time. Out on the ground, MC gets his senses back after a while and he grabs Hikari, hugging her tightly. He tells her that he is very glad that she is safe. He would die if something happened to her. Hikari's mother comes down and she looks at them, knowing that MC was true when he said that he loves Hikari. He loves her so much that he is willing to put himself in danger just to save her. She asks MC if he knows that he would have been badly injured if he had not pushed them into the pool. He knows it vividly, and he did it on purpose. He cannot let anything happen to Hikari, and he again reminds her that he is telling the truth when he says that he would do anything for Hikari, even if it is killing himself. She cannot believe how lucky her daughter is, and she kneels in front of him, asking him to take care of her daughter. Meanwhile, Inda comes to Hikari and slaps her on the face, calling her an idiot. She hates her for making this situation like it is, and both of them start crying like children. On the other hand, MC tells Hikari's mother that he is going to be taking care of Hikari, no matter what, and saying this, he grabs her hand and tells her that he is also going to be making her happy. She cannot believe what she is hearing right now. She asks him if this is his answer to her asking him out before, and it is. This shocks everyone. Hikari could not believe that her mother asked her boyfriend out before. Everyone is shocked, but it is set. Her mother tells her that she cannot blame her for asking him out because who would not ask this cute person out? She cannot understand her, but she is fine, I guess. All of the girlfriends still cannot believe that MC is going to be dating Hikari's mother. Anyways, she tells everyone that they are going to be sleeping over here, and before that, they are going to be taking a warm bath. Inside, the giant bathroom is set, and all of them go inside to enjoy their bath. Everyone is cleaning themselves, and all Kusuri can think of is how giant his bathroom is and also how big Hikari's mother's melons are. She notices her saying this and shows her how big Hikari's are. They are both huge, and Kusuri is amazed. She notices that IAs are even better, and all of them start to show off their melons. Inda gets out of there as she does not want to be a part of this thing. She goes to the bedroom and MC is sitting on the bed, waiting for everyone. He notices that Inda is back early, but her tummy is showing a little. He starts blushing because he cannot control himself looking at her belly. He tells her that her belly is exposed, and she gets very embarrassed. But she is confused as to why he is getting so worked up over some little tummy. But she suddenly remembers what happened before. MC was rubbing his face all over her belly, and he said that he was doing this for her, so she does not get hurt. He is a pair in her opinion, and she wants him to know that she was greatly embarrassed because of what he did back then. She wants a payback, and saying this, she jumps on top of MC. She starts rubbing her face on his belly as well, and MC is very embarrassed. She notices and asks how he is feeling, getting to know how she felt before. But she cannot help but feel the warmth of MC's belly. This is heaven for her. Suddenly, Kusuri comes into the room, and they both freak out and start doing push-ups to make her believe that they are doing nothing crazy. She sees them and wants to join them for this workout. Anyways, all of them come back, and Hikari's mother shows them the outfit wardrobe so all of them can get dressed up. Hikari explains that her mother loves every adorable thing and wants to dress it up as soon as she sees it. Now everyone starts to dress up, and MC looks away so they have their privacy. After they are done, Hikari's mother tells him that he can look now. He turns to have a look and is blown away by how hot Inda and Hikari look. Hikari's mother tells him that Shizuka and Kusuri are the icing on the cake, showing them to MC. They are dressed up as little kittens, and MC feels like he is in heaven right now. They come and give him a kiss, and he is in the sky after getting all the kisses. MC and Hikari's mother cannot control their emotions, and Hikari's mother loses her balance a bit. She decides to go to the kitchen so she can have some water. MC gets up and decides to walk her to the kitchen while all of his girlfriends wait there. They get out of the room, and he notices that Hikari's mother has been holding in her emotions for a while now, and she cannot do it anymore. This is the exact moment she grabs MC and lets him know that she cannot control her emotions anymore. Saying this, she tells him that he has to come to her room right now. The narrator freaks out knowing that tonight, MC is going to be becoming a man from a boy. This is his lucky night, a night none of you will be experiencing anytime soon. MC and Hahari, Hanazono's mother, went to get some water from the kitchen, and they are taking too long. Originally, it was supposed to be only Hahari, but seeing her condition, MC offered to come with her to the kitchen in case she lost her balance. She and MC went to the kitchen, but on the way, Hahari lost her balance and fell on MC. MC saves her from falling, and as he grabs her, she looks at him with full vulnerability and tells him that she cannot hold it any longer and she has to get it done right now. She has been keeping her feelings hidden from MC for so long, but now, she cannot and does not even want to hold it in anymore. She looks at him and with a cute and drooling face, tells him that he has to come with her to her room right now and do what she wants to with him. He is shocked. He knew that she had feelings and emotions for him, but these much were not in his mind. He thought she had just those starting attraction emotions that go away with time, but her feelings are not stopping. He can see the frustration on her face when she tells him that she cannot hold it any longer. He agrees and they both go to her room, and the deed starts. We see both of them screaming at the top of their lungs, and they are barely stopping. It is like they were thinking about doing this for their past lives, and the frustration was so much that they could not keep their hands off each other. On the other hand, the rest of the girlfriends are back in the room, and they are playing cards. It has been some time since MC and Ahari went to get some water, and Inda brings this up randomly. None of them were paying attention to the time, and suddenly, it hit Inda that these two are gone for quite some time now. This is getting fishy, and she doesn't like it. Shizuka also wonders why it is taking so long, as it does not require much time to get a little bit of water from the kitchen. They are thinking this when suddenly Hanazono is hit with the possibility that maybe her mother and her boyfriend are doing it in her mother's room. She cannot think this is something her mother would do, but at the same time, it is MC who is the boyfriend, and anyone could fall for him and do what they do not do often. She knows maybe this is what is going on, and she has to stop it when, to her horror, she and the rest of the girlfriends hear Ahari and MC screaming like crazy. The sound is coming from her room, and so all of them get up and go to see what the hell is going on. Hanazono feels like this is very bad, and her mother should not have done this with her boyfriend. Ai feels like this is not acceptable, and they have to stop them. The most affected one is Inda, obviously, and she is mad at Hanazono's mother. They run and reach the room. They enter and find something they did not expect. They see that MC and Ahari are not doing the deed, but she is dressing MC as a girl. She is on the ground with the sheer amount of cuteness slamming her face. She cannot control herself seeing MC like this. He is too cute for her, and she thinks that maybe he is the cutest thing she has ever seen. The rest of the girlfriends see this and cannot believe that this is what they are doing, and they are all afraid for nothing. Anyways, seeing MC as a crossdresser makes all the girlfriends very happy, and they are so impressed seeing what Harry has done with him. They are willing to call her their lord, as they could have never been successful in convincing MC to become a crossdresser. On the other hand, MC is dying from all the sheer embarrassment he is experiencing right now, and he cannot believe that all of his girlfriends just saw him as a girl. Thinking how incredibly embarrassing this is, MC passes out and falls to the ground. He is not waking up, and all of them have to do something about it. They think, and finally, Ahari has an idea that she got after she looked at Ai. She tells her that she has to help her with this and save their boyfriend. She and Ai go somewhere and return with Ai as a handsome guy. She looks pretty handsome, and Ahari introduces her, saying that only a prince's kiss can wake the princess from her slumber. This makes sense to all the girlfriends, and now they are counting on Ai to save their boyfriend. Ai comes to MC and grabs him, giving him a gentle and romantic kiss on the lips. Well, this is literally where you say how the tables turned. The kiss is powerful, and MC wakes up from the slumber he was having. Waking up, he notices all of them staring at him, and he is still like a girl. This is too much, and he gets up, leaving for the bath. He cannot take this anymore and leaves, making an excuse to take a bath. Well, this is another opportunity for the girls, and Hanazono and her mother signal each other. Ahari calls the maid and tells her to bring something. The maid comes in, and she has a rope in her hands. Hanazono, on the other hand, is downloading a silent recorder app on her phone, and Inda asks her what the hell are these two planning to do now. They both turn and tell her that they are going to peep, and of course, like it is the only thing that makes sense in this situation. This mother and daughter combo is lethal, I would say. They are leaving, but Inda tells them not to, as this is not okay to do. Ai joins them, and Kusuri as well. Kusuri is very excited, saying that she has never seen that thing ever, and she is very ready to see MC's thingy. Hearing this, Inda has to give up and join them, but she says that she is not interested in seeing MC's body and things. Well, yeah, we know. They are all leaving when Shizuka comes in front of the door, telling all of them to stop. She wonders if they do not think about the possibility of embarrassing their lover, MC. But Aya comes to her and tells her that no one is going to get hurt as long as he does not know that he is being recorded. Well, this does not make any sense, but Shizuka cannot par this argument. They grab Shizuka and roll her in a futon so she does not come in between their plans. She is struggling to get out of it, and all of them leave. We see MC bathing in the bathroom, and by the way, why is this bathroom so huge? It is like a hall, I would say. Anyways, the girlfriends and Ahari are on the move, and they are fully focused on the peeping mission. They have to take a look at him bathing, and if they do not, something will happen to them, or this is what they believe. Anyways, MC is bathing and having fun. He knows that his girlfriend is going to be trying to take a peep at him bathing so they can look at his thing. This is the reason he has already covered himself with the towel and is not going to give them a little bit of a chance. But he does not have the slightest idea that his girlfriends are fully on this mission and they are going to do anything to make sure they record him bathing. With this in mind, we see the girlfriends with the rope and they have suspended Kyusuri from the legs so she can have a look from the window. But the window is very small and she cannot see properly right now. She goes closer to the window and sticks her face to the window. It makes a little sound and MC fearfully turns to see what it is. He is scared to the core of seeing Kyusuri like this with her face in the window. He has no clue this is Kyusuri and he feels like he just saw a ghost. He jumps up from the chair and covers his eyes, and by this time, Kyusuri tells the others to pull her up as the plan fails. He takes another look and there is no one there. This house feels haunted to him now and he wants to bathe quickly and get out of here as soon as he can. Shizuka is as she was in the foot and wrapped. She is trying her best to get out of this so she can save her boyfriend from the embarrassment he is about to experience. She thinks to herself what is going to happen. She feels like the girlfriends are going to see him bathing and he is going to catch them like this. He is going to feel guilty for being like this in front of them, and that is going to hurt him so much that their girlfriends will feel regret for doing this. And like this, everything is going to fall apart. Well, she is quite a thinker. She does not want this to happen, and so she is trying her best to get out of this. She jerks her body to see if she can loosen up this footing, but it does not work. She has an idea and she starts rolling her way out of the room toward the bathroom. On the other hand, the girlfriends and Harry have another way to peep in the bathroom, and Harry leads them toward it. She calls the maid and all of their girlfriends are together. They are in the attic and the stairs open to the attic. Harry explains that this is another way of peeping in the bathroom, and she is quite sure that this will be successful. They go in and they are crawling through the darkness toward the bathroom. On the way, Inda is very scared of the mice and she asks if this place is cleaned of mice. Hanazono assures her that their house is mice-free, but as she says this, Inda feels something on her leg. She screams and starts shaking with fear. Hanazono tells her to calm down, but she feels something as well on her leg and starts freaking out. Kyusuri feels it too, and Ai too. All of them are freaking out, but Ai is counting Pai's numbers as her way of relaxing. On the other hand, Shizuka is on the stairs and she has to find a way to get down these stairs without hurting herself. She is scared at first, but she has to think of a way to get down quickly without any damage. She is preparing her mind to get down when the guard dog comes in and gives her a push. She goes flying down and gets down. Her fan opens up and she goes rolling toward the bathroom. The door opens and she rolls toward the bathtub. MC is bathing outside and she falls inside the bathtub with a huge splash. MC is scared and turns to see a girl fully wet with her hair, looking like a witch. This scares the living hell out of him, but he takes another look, and it is Shizuka. She is hurt a little and this concerns MC. He checks on her and she is quite dizzy with all the rolling in her journey here. On the other hand, the girlfriends get down from the attic and MC comes there with Shizuka in her hands. All of them tell him that they were playing hide and seek and nothing else. Ai also tells him that hiding in the dark is the best thing to do, and that is why they were in the attic. But Inda finishes the sentence by saying that they were surely not trying to peep in on him while he was bathing, which gives this out for sure. He scolds the rest of them for doing this, telling them that they might have gotten themselves hurt and they should not do this ever again. They get a nice scolding and they learn their lesson. This is happening while Shizuka is passed out in bed. After some time, all of them are playing cards and having so much fun together. The way they are all together is something that happens very rarely, and they have to savor this fun forever. They are playing when MC and Harry are sitting next to each other, and while playing, Harry touches MC's hand by mistake. She gets a little shy, and Inda sees this. She hates that she and MC have been doing these things for a while now, and she wants to do something about it. But something happens and Harry makes an excuse to leave the room. She tells all of them that she just remembers something that she had to do, and saying this, she leaves the room. As she is leaving, MC looks at her and she feels very worried for some reason. After playing the game, MC gets up and leaves to look for Harry. The house is very big and he is quite lost in it. He has to find her, but he has no clue where she could be. But suddenly, he senses the smell of the incense and follows the scent to the room where Harry is sitting in front of a picture of some boy. He takes a look and notices that this might be some person she loves and he should not disturb her. But he goes in anyway and sits next to her. He wants to light the incense as well, and saying this, he takes a look at the picture, and it is some high schooler. He is surprised to see this picture, and in shock, he asks Harry about this person. Harry tells him that this is Hanazona's father, and he was the person she loved so much. This makes him shut up really nicely, as he was almost rude. He thought it was some affair love she had with this boy, but this boy was Hanazona's father. He respects him and sees the tears in Harry's eyes. She begins explaining to him how much she loves him. He was the only person she ever loved, and there is a question MC wants to ask her. He wonders why the hell she wanted to live her life alone, as he knows for a fact that she does not have any lack of people approaching her. Why is it that she chose to live alone when she could have been with someone? She fell silent but answered him, telling him that Hanazona's father was the only guy she ever loved, and thinking that living with anyone else was like a sin to her. Even after he died, she kept loving him with all her heart, and now she is in love with MC. She never thought she would be in love with someone else, but now she is, and she does not have any idea what to do. She wants to love him, but she feels like this is wrong. Saying this, Harry is losing her control and she is crying like a little child. So MC grabs her and hugs her, telling her that she is doing nothing wrong. There is nothing written anywhere that you have to love only one person your entire life. You can love two people at the same time, and MC feels like she should give him a chance. He will make sure that she is happy, and he is willing to be by her side all the time. All she has to do is leave this regret behind and delve completely into this love. She can love Hanazona's father and MC at the same time, and she would not be cheating on him. Well, he put it nicely, but still, this is wrong, I think so. He has done it 6 times, and he sure would tell you that this is awk. Harry is shocked with everything he said, and she now wants him to stay close. She hugs him more tightly and tells him that it would be great if he kissed her right now, because her husband told her that she had to keep her first kiss for someone she truly loved, and this was the time. The time is here, and the person she truly loves is right here, right by her. She tells him to kiss her, but she quickly realizes that this might be too strong for him. She gets back and lets him know that she was just in emotions, and he does not have to do it. But MC grabs her out of nowhere and gives her the best kiss of her life. She has never felt this feeling before, and she is getting numbness in her brain. She holds him much tighter, and the kiss becomes more wild and romantic. At night, everyone is sleeping, and Indet is right in between MC and Hanazona. Hanazona gets up, goes around the bed, and lays with MC. Inda wakes up, and she knows that Hanazona will be trying to do something like this, and she has been waiting for it. Hanazona lies with MC, and he wakes up, asking her if something is wrong. She tells him that she wanted to sleep with him that night, and that is why she got up and just came to him without thinking about it. He giggles and tells her that she is fine and she can lay here for as long as she wants. But she starts to tear up, and she tells him that she really thought that she was about to lose him forever. She wants to be with forever, and she would do anything to make sure that happens. MC looks at her and, stroking her hair, tells her that he is right here and would always be here for her. Saying this, MC kisses her, and she starts to feel some type of way. She is feeling butterflies in her stomach. She wants MC to hold her like this till the morning comes and Inda hears everything. But she lets her have this one time, as she had some rough times before. She would be willing to let her have MC for this night only and never again. They sleep, and after some time, MC wakes up and hears moaning sounds. He looks and sees that Inda and Hanazono are going at it and kissing each other in sleep, saying MC's name. They are so close that even in sleep, they are loving each other. MC gets up to go to the washroom now that he is awake. He is in the corridor of the house when he sees Hanazona's father standing by the window, looking at the sky. He is surprised and calls him, and he responds. He is real, and he comes toward MC, telling him that he is doing a good job, taking care of both of them. But he is mad as to why he took both of them from him. MC is not scared at all and responds normally. This surprises Hanazona's father, and he asks him why the hell he is not scared of him when he was so scared of things that seemed supernatural to him before. He tells him that he would be scared normally, but he is not from him because he is Hanazona's father. He has heard a lot from her, and he knows that he is a kind-hearted person, and he would mean no harm to him. Father is happy and tells him that he is glad that MC is the one taking care of both of them, and that there will be a time when he passes on with peace now that he is with them. Saying this, something happens and something starts to flow out of Father with all the force. MC has no idea what is going on, but Father tells him that it is his regret of leaving behind his daughter and wife leaving his body. He is going to pass on soon, but MC does not want this, and he wants to make both of them happy together. He passes on and MC wakes up from the dream. It was morning and he was asleep right on the corridor floor. Anyways, all of them leave as the vacation is over. They go to school and Harry is appointed as the chairperson for the school. She is being announced as one while MC is at her house during the lunch break to see her. Knowing that she is at the school, he runs to the school, and on the way, we see a lot of future soulmates of NC.